Welcome to the 8672 podcast. I'm Chris.
It's Wise. Peace.
Wise back in the building.
Yes, sir.
It's episode 13. Welcome back, brother.
Yes, sir. You know what I mean?
Straight out of the desert.
Facts.
Man. How was vacation?
It was sweet. If that's what it was. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But everything all good. You know what I mean? Had a family issue, you know what I mean? I can say it now, fuck it. We thought my wife had that COVID shit, you know what I mean? So a couple of nights I was down on the couch like I was in trouble or some shit. But, you know what I mean? All praise is due to the Most High. You know, it was negative. You know what I mean? But other than that, I want to speak to. First, I want to say rest in peace to DMX. For the 9, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's from YO, and anybody that know Westchester County, you know what I'm saying? I'm not fronting on no other cities in Westchester, but y'all know them 3 lower cities in Westchester pretty much resemble like the boroughs, you know what I'm saying? You have Brand Nubians from Nauru. We always looked at them as being similar to like Harlem cats, you know what I mean? Because they was on the fashion, as you know, by watching Brand Nubian with Grand Pooba in them, you know what I mean? That was their style, like that Harlem swag. New Road had that too. Yonkers, even though Mount Vernon and Yonkers both border the Bronx, Yonkers was more, they probably one of the biggest cities in Westchester, if I'm not mistaken. But they was like the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? And Mount Vernon, you know what I'm saying? We was more like Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? Because we smaller, you know what I mean? Smaller city, but we was overpopulated. And being there, I could say this, you know what I mean? I hope my YO people don't get mad at me, my New Road people, you know what I mean? Y'all know, you know what I mean? They was like Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Get money, all that. Yonkers was more like the Bronx, like, and no disrespect to no boroughs or nothing, but people from the boroughs, I got family in down there, most of the boroughs, and y'all know this is true how everybody look at each other in those boroughs. The Bronx was like the grimy, dingy, you know what I'm saying? And we looked at Yonkers like that. And then you had Mount Vernon was like Brooklyn, like niggas you cannot trust, they grimy, they gonna act like they cool with you and then fuck around, bring you to the hood or bring you somewhere, get you robbed and act like they had nothing to do with it, but meanwhile behind closed doors, people was breaking up that bread that, you know what I mean, you might have gave up. But shout out to X, you know what I'm saying? A true 914 legend, true worldwide legend. To me, if you want to compare him, he would be the closest thing to Tupac because he transcended the music into acting, and X had a following that was unbelievable. You know what I mean? I mean, growing up, we knew about him. You know what I mean? Just being from, you know, the cities I mentioned. Anybody that had people that was in the music industry and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You knew about him from battling and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And one thing X always said that I don't think people really knew unless you heard it from somebody. X would be in any hood, probably Dolo, project, anything, and he got love. You know what I'm saying? And not a lot of people could do that. You know what I mean? And shout out to the whole Rough Rider family, D&Y. You know, as you know, I personally know them. You know what I mean? From being around with certain people, you know what I mean? My peoples and their peoples, and them was cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was heartbreaking to me, you know what I mean, to hear about X like that. You know what I mean? And shout out to Nori too, because he bought X on Drink Champs twice. But Nori,
3 times.
it was 3.
I think it was 3 times.
I know it's 2.
He did a early joint with them.
Right. And then he did the last one when he was doing this album.
I think he might have came on another one with somebody else, but it definitely was 2. Definitely.
But I know Nori used to always speak to, like now I'm hearing other people saying it as far as starting a hip hop union and things of that nature. And Nori would be like one of the only ones that I would hear outside of X's, Rough Rider family and his family like that, that would be like, yo, we got to get X help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like it wasn't no joke. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Because most people that know X, nobody thought it was a joke what he was doing or what allegedly they say. Let me say that he was, he was addicted to and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And genuinely, he was a good dude. You know what I mean? So once again, rest in peace to X, and much love and prayers out to his family. And that's pretty much all I got to say. You know what I mean? Otherwise, last week I would have definitely spoke to that. And actually tonight, while we taping, is the memorial. They had the visual and all that.
Yeah.
A lot of people was going live, but I was doing something. You know what I mean? So I'll catch up on that later.
Yeah, you're talking about the one in Alberta.
And I think they got one in Yonkers too.
Yeah. I didn't see the date for the one in Yonkers. I just saw he was trying to do it at the Raceway, but I didn't see the date for it. I know the one in Alberta was tonight at 4th Street though. But yeah, definitely everything you said, like I said last week. For me, you compare them to Pop. I'm not talking about like artist-wise what they were or what they accomplished, but for me, like how people felt when Big passed. Like I felt a little bit of that, but I was younger then. I think I was like 11 when he passed, maybe 12. But like BMX was my biggie. Like everything that he talked about, like not same experiences, but like you felt X, like in his music and even when he talked. And like I think he's a perfect example. Like I think we talked about it on this podcast where it's like sometimes people get caught up in the messenger and they miss the message. Like I think he's a perfect example of that, because like even like yes he had his like thorns, thorns, demons, whatever you want to call it, but we all do. But one thing you can't say about that man is that he was genuine, he was vulnerable, and he wore like his vulnerability on his sleeve. Like he ain't try to hide that. Like some of the stuff that he talked about in his raps was stuff that people would try to hide, like they wouldn't want you to know. You know what I'm saying? And I think when people talk about I'm a real nigga this, I'm a real nigga, that was X. Like I don't think for people to be fans of him, like he probably was as close as you can get to knowing somebody without knowing them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he gave you all of that. I think that's why he was loved and why he got the following that you talking about he got. Like that joint when he passed, I literally was like, yo, I really never thought that he would be gone. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the stuff that he talked about experiencing and things like that, and you know that he experienced, you be like, yo, this is a dude that's he's chosen, he's touched. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I always felt about him. Like that was my guy, man, for sure. But yeah, I talked about that a little bit last week, but yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah, the only reason why I compared him to Pop was because everybody know Biggie's one of my favorite rappers, and I liked Pop, but when he started flipping out, I really didn't get into that, but that's for another day or whatever. But the reason why I compared him to Pop was worldwide, like, respected, like I remember Nas did the song with R. Kelly and they did the video in Chicago, and Nas spoke to it that people was like, yo, if you better get up out of here because yo, you beefing with Pop, and if we catch you the right way, like we'll leave you out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what X had. Yeah. No matter where he went, You ain't never heard nobody talking about they try to run down on them and things of that nature, you know what I mean? And, you know, he like I said, he was just a genuine dude, you know what I mean? And I know with my encounters with him, like, he was cool, like, you know what I mean? And if you didn't know, you really wouldn't know. Like, you would hear in his songs, you know what I mean? But if you never listened to his music, you wouldn't know that he had that much pain, you know what I'm saying, in him, you know what I mean? That's why they say the person could show you a smile and show you that, you know, the sun is shining outside, but inside they really got clouds, you know what I'm saying? It's cloudy on the inside, you know what I mean? But they put on that I don't want to say front, they just put on, like, you don't need to know what I'm going through, you know what I mean? But that was that. And another thing I wanted to touch on before we really get into it, the last episode, right? Me and you got into it, right? But it was funny because I got some calls and it was family members. So they was like, yeah, you know, they white, they this. And I was like, you got to look up the history of Irish people, right? So it happened, our sister called and was like, this is what I be saying, like, you know what I mean? If just seeing you walk around, you look like just an average nigga that you don't know nothing. You can fit in anywhere, and you just look like if you tell somebody your name is Wise, they'll be looking like, yo, nothing wise about that motherfucker, right? So she calls and goes, yo, it's crazy, because you said that shit, but I didn't believe it. So I did look up the history, right? So we talking or whatever. So then, my daughter had went down to Atlanta and stayed with her for her birthday. When they went and got the tattoos, now I got the video of the guy giving her the tattoo, right? His middle name is our last name. So he began asking them, like, how y'all get that last name or whatever? So they went into probably slavery. So he was like, nah. Right? So they looking, come to find out, he began telling them what I was saying on the podcast. He was like, no. He was like, and this had to be like recent history where we had to commingle type thing. He was like, because if anybody know anything about the Irish, we were treated just as bad as y'all in Europe. And then when we came over here, we was treated bad too. We weren't slaves or anything like that, but we had to work for everything we got. And
that's where the term ghetto comes from.
Listen, I told you all that.
Nah, we ain't talking about that. I read that in the book, ghetto.
So then he went on to like touch on things, and she started telling him things that I was telling her, and he was like, yeah, that's true. He was like, that is true. You know what I mean? Like, you look at some, he was like, a lot of people, he was like, over here, everybody just want to fit in and say they white. He was like, but that ain't true. He was like, because we weren't given the privileges of whites. And then somebody else asked me about the jobs they would take on. If you think about it, right now, this job is considered like a good job to have. It's a great job, which is being a fireman and shit like that. Some of them were able to be cops, but back then, to be a fireman and shit, you ain't have all that gear, so it was like a dirty job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you going in there, like one of the slogans of a firefighter is, we fight what you fear. But a majority of the firefighters were Irish, because nobody else wanted to do that. That was beneath them. You know what I'm saying? So that was, I wanted to touch on that because, you know what I'm saying, like I said, our sister called me and was like, when he was doing the tattoo, you know, they was talking, but then he came out and was like, how did I get that last name? And said what his name was, and they was like, wow, that's a coincidence. He was like, yeah, that's very coincidental, but this ain't no slavery shit. Like, and he started breaking down, like, the history of how they got treated in Europe and how they ended up getting into Ireland and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, everything that I might say it might not be the way you guys want to hear it or whatever, but like I keep saying, everything is about education, knowing and understanding what is out there for you to obtain information-wise, that you wouldn't be looking at everybody as being lumped up in one group like that. You know what I mean? But that's it.
Cool. So that's what you wanted to start off with?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on those two.
So what you think about, so before we get back on next week, before we record on Wednesdays, but we got Method Man and Redman versus coming up on 420. What you think? What do you think about it?
Like I told you, they gotta go. They pretty much could do a part. Method Man don't have the catalog Redman got, so it's gonna turn into pretty much like Ray and Ghost.
Yeah.
Because unless Method Man just do verses, well, he could do his verses from, because he would have that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you go, like, if you try and go song for song,
he's definitely going to do Wu-Tang songs. He got to.
He has to, because he only has 2 albums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the first, like I said, with no disrespect, you know what I mean? I'm a Wu-Tang fan. I love all them dudes. Peace to the gods. But that second album didn't live up to the first album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, Redman got joints, man. But people, he's and even our cousin Tiny called. He said, how could you say that Redman is better than Meth? And I was like, I didn't say he was better than him. What I said was, he's a rapper's rapper. Mm-hmm. Meth could get in to start talking about mathematics and all that. That's fine for somebody that know what he's talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Redman can rhyme different things together, and he's into he can make a joke like, fuck you.
That's all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's a rapper's rapper. So I think it's gonna be dope. You know what I mean? But I just don't. I hope they not. Which I know they not. Like my album against your album, because once Redman do 2 albums,
yeah,
Meth got to go into Wu.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a dope environment. I know they're gonna be smoked.
They're gonna be smoked out.
Yeah, and it's on 420. They're gonna be smoked out, and then 2. I think I got a theory on what the first song is gonna be.
What?
Because X-Pass, I think they're gonna do 4, 3, 2, 1 to open it. Because that's a song where both of them is on with him.
That's true.
So I could see that being the first song, because you got Swift, who's
right.
a co-founder of Versus. I think it's gonna be a tribute joint to him, and I think the best way to do the tribute, well, they probably gonna have a moment of silence, but the song, if you kick off a song, y'all two both on that with X, and then they're gonna play his joint, and then I feel like it'll get back into the mode. But I'm definitely gonna be tuning into that. I can't wait to see that next Tuesday. That'll be dope.
No, that's definitely gonna be a dope verse.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. I can't wait to see that. My favorite, and I said this on here though. My favorite verse is still X versus Snoop. That still is my favorite. I don't think anyone beat it.
It ain't mine.
Which one is your favorite?
Huh?
Which one was your favorite?
Ray and Ghost was
I thought you were going to say
better.
Earth, Wind, Fire, and
I didn't even watch that shit.
You didn't watch that?
No, man.
Come on, man.
Listen, man, nobody wants to see Steve Harvey.
I'm talking about the music.
Son, I know the music, but guess what? When I turned it on, I saw them dudes sitting down, and I was like, yo, I'm not going to be sitting here watching them talking, and they all sitting down. You know,
they got up?
I know they got up, but everybody that watched it said that was a waste of total fucking time for them. They could have just played. Said, yo, tonight we're going to have D-Nice live, and he going to play their music.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I enjoyed it.
One thing I do miss, though, they said that when Steve Harvey took one of their coats,
I wasn't tuned in like that. I had it on because, like you said, it wasn't nothing to watch.
Right.
But just to like hear the music. Like I had it on and was just like moving around.
You put that in your phone and you do that. But they said it was a couple of nuggets that I got from it. They said maybe it was Ron Isley because they kept talking about Ron Isley.
Yeah, because he don't look like the same dude.
No, they said that he took his coat off and Steve Harvey put it on. They said he looked at him like what the fuck are you doing with my coat? Then somebody said, matter of fact, shout out to Shampoo. He said that he knew somebody that knew. And he said that Ron Isley, his one thing that he'll fuck around and kill you over is if you call him ugly. Yo, you gotta look at it. He was talking about it for real. He was dead serious too. He said his man's moms used to date somebody in the group that was originally in the group, but Ron Isley, if you called him ugly, he would flip on you. Like he would be ready to kill you. That was one of his things. Don't call him ugly. I guess because they said he didn't look like him.
Nah, yo, it's like when they did the preview. When they did the preview to the verses, they put up Isley Brothers, and he got out. I think he came out like the Jet, and I was like, "Where's Ron Isley?" I was like, "Yo, I thought I missed something." And then I went in the comments, and verses was like, "Yes, that is Ron Isley."
So what do you got? A bunch of plastic surgery?
I don't know, yo. He got like a goatee now.
You missing R. Kelly?
Yeah. He look. I mean, to be honest, this is gonna sound great saying this. He looked older in the 90s than he looked now.
So he had plastic surgery.
He looked like the old head gangster that was like if you told me that was Tookie Williams, I would believe you. Like he looked like the old head gangster that was locked up, got out, and he just like and he was like, you know what, I'm about to get the goatee, try to look young. I missed all my 20s and 30s, and I'm about to get it back.
I'm glad I ain't watching.
Nah.
They said that Steve Harvey was up there.
Oh, you know he was doing
the job, and
you know he was doing the most though.
Yeah, so I didn't want to see that.
Nah, yeah.
When I saw the hat he was gonna wear, and I listened to them in the morning sometimes, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, I met a girl, and their first record." I took the song, I wrote all the words to the song and went over to her house and I gave her the words to the song and man, I was like, nah, I'm not watching.
This is real music.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, man.
Yeah.
That guy. It was good though. I like that. Like
I heard all them songs.
In the summertime, like that's like my favorite music to listen to for sure.
Nah, that's nice music, but I ain't saying nothing wrong with that music.
No, I know what you're saying, but I had it on for sure.
At first I was hyped for it, but then I was like looking at everything. I was like, nah, I ain't watching. And when I cut it on, like I said, they was all sitting down, and when they started talking, I was like, oh nah, I ain't got time. You know, man.
So we gotta get into it though.
Get into what?
Dante Rice.
I knew you was gonna want to go there, and it's funny.
We have to.
No, I know, but it's funny because coming over here, I was watching Gully TV, and he said something that made sense, but a lot of people don't understand that. But he was like, yo, you think about people that have been in trouble before? They ain't the ones doing the dumb shit, trying to get away and all that. They cooperating like, yo, all right, cuff me up. I live to see another day.
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to you got a warrant. Your tags are expired or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you gonna run? You gonna try and run? Now the cop, I don't even want to hear what they saying about her.
No, I was just finish that.
Because you can't be a decorated cop training somebody and you don't know the difference between a gun and a taser. So that to me is straight BS.
Yeah, that's my issue with the situation, and I think for me, it's not about like what you was talking about. It's not about that for me. Like all of that is valid, but what I'm saying, my issue with the situation is even in pure weight. Like if the diameter and everything was the same, in pure weight, like a handgun, a loaded handgun, and a taser don't feel the same in your hand.
Right.
Like if they the same shape and everything. Like if you had a BB gun and you held a real gun, the difference is it's not even close. Like you can put a blindfold on and tell somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like I put it to you like this: you couldn't pistol whip somebody and really hurt them with a BB gun. Like you could, but it ain't gonna be like a real gun.
If you get them old time, like them heavy metal BB guns.
I guess they making replicas that's close. I give you that. But tasers for the most part are like hard plastic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't talking about metal, right? Metal and plastic.
And it's positioned different on a belt.
Yeah, like the amount of training that I'd imagine you have to go through, I don't personally know. But dealing with that type of that weaponry and the magnitude of your job, which you're supposed to be doing, protecting and serving, you gotta know the difference between a taser and a handgun. And if you yell taser, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
No, that's fact. But like I said, that it escalated because and like you said, when a cop, before them lights come on, they already doing their research on you when they following.
Yeah.
So you know what you got. You know what I mean? You know when them lights come on. Now you might be in the car dirty. You know what I mean? Your man might be dirty. So you want to de-escalate the situation as much as you can. And like you said, and it's true, you got too much mouth, and I know this from with off topic or whatever, not off topic, but what we talked about last night off the record, what I told you happened.
Oh yeah.
So now that came about because you running your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, yo, chill. You know what I mean? Don't be tough now, and then when you get arrested, you want to go to court. Now you looking at the judge. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. That's true. And like you said, people that been in that situation before know that, yo, guess what? They got all the power. They want all the power. Yo, just chill. Just chill. Because it might be an outcome that you're not even thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They might not even lock you up. You know what I'm saying? And when he was saying it, I was like, yo, that's true. Because at first I was like, yo, he bugging, man. This it's hunting season. You know what I mean? So, of course, if you nervous, yeah, I'm going to try and, if I can try and get out and get away, I'm out. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's hunting season, and you escalated that situation, and you got a warrant on a gun charge, so now they are automatically thinking when they pulling you over that you might have one on you. But to use that on her behalf, oh, she's decorating, like you talked about the training. It's a hell of a lot of training that go into using them tasers. And like I said, they position different. If you look at a cop when he walk in, if he out on the beat or he walk in a store, the gun is on his hip in a certain place where he got it. The taser is more reaching for it. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? Don't tell me you thought it was a taser and it was a mistake and you out there training somebody else. So that means you a decorated cop, supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you 26 years of experience that you could train a rookie. But this is what you're doing? You don't know the difference?
Yeah. You know, like, that's crazy. Now, I can't remember if it said, I think it's because she resigned.
Yeah, first they said she got fired, then they came back and had to say that she resigned.
Yeah.
But it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Because they gave her the option. Because if she got fired, her pension is gone.
Right. I was going to ask you about that because I know a similar to
you get fired, your pension is gone.
Yeah.
So for them to put that out there that she got fired and then come back and it was like, yo, she resigned, I was like, wow, all right, well, they gave her the option, like, either you take this and you resign, or we gonna have to fire you and then your pension you fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
even that
involved in that, she got 26.
No, I'm saying it's 20 years served and you can retire with full pension.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Like, now what I don't like about this whole situation, once again, we talked about this prior, they protested. Now, explain to me how robbing a sneaker store got to do with this man dying.
Nah, I feel you. I never disagree with you on that.
Yo, they hit the same sneaker store. Like, it ain't funny because the dude is like, that's his soul. And to me, I couldn't tell if maybe he had a tan or what. But when I looked at him talking this morning, I was like, yo, this dude looked like a man of color.
Yeah, I don't know. I 100% agree with you on that. Like, I'm not into. I don't think that does anything.
Right, and I think and they trying to twist the narrative to try to make that affect this George Floyd trial too.
I seen it. I didn't get to watch the video, but his aunt was. I saw a headline saying that his aunt said that one of his former teachers was George Floyd's girlfriend. I saw a headline talking about that, but I didn't get to watch the video, so I can't confirm it. Yeah, but that was the headline. But there was when his aunt was at the rally.
But I know they were saying that it was crazy because remember we said the jury that I thought they were saying, it's not. We gotta stop saying George Floyd trial. It's the Chauvin trial.
Right. Yeah. He's the one on trial, right? George Floyd.
I thought the jury was sequestered. Remember, I kept saying that I believe that they didn't have to show the video in court because they saw the video over and over again 1,000,000 times, right? That jury goes home every day.
Oh wow!
So they was like, now they trying to paint the picture that if they come back with a guilty verdict against Chauvin, they should appeal it because they being influenced by the what's the name. And I was like, you know what? That's crazy. That's crazy. That they not sequestered.
Yeah. They definitely don't use that.
And I'm telling
you, that's the loophole.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the news is playing up to the bullshit.
So if they don't, like if they get it thrown out there, we have to go to Supreme Court, correct?
They would have to appeal the case, and yeah, they could bump it up to Supreme Court. But you know what I mean? Like it's the fact that you would even have to go through that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're trying to tie it in to Black Lives Matter and Antifa.
Yo, speaking of Black Lives Matter, did you see the joint that Gilly posted about the Black Lives Matter?
The money?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you that.
I thought about you.
The $20 million house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was $20 million.
Yeah, it's $20 million. I'm glad you brought it up. Because I said I'm not going to talk about none of that tonight.
Nah, you talk about it. I never disagreed with you on that. I didn't know. I said I wasn't confirming or like I didn't know.
That shit is crazy and people know about it. Like they said, yo, it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know him. You know what I mean? And I don't mean no disrespect. But they saying that when my son is going to get arrested, like this shit is staged. For real. Like this, yo, I'm being dead ass serious, man. I'm dead ass serious. Yo, you got dudes saying this shit is crazy because they performing at the Grammys and shit. Like, yo, when you ever seen this kind of stuff, man? Seriously.
It's not funny.
Yo, you laughing, man. But, yo, this shit really make you start thinking. Because, think about it. We talk talking about,
That's
okay,
not funny, but that's crazy.
black on black, a kid gets killed. Let's not say black on black crime. A kid get killed in the hood. Black Lives Matter ain't marching, but that's a black life, right?
Yeah.
They getting paid to go do these marches. And that's why homegirl moms was like, yo, they made money off my daughter's name. The woman from the Grammys.
I didn't watch the Grammys.
No, she told them, stop using my daughter's name. I never met with y'all. Y'all made money off my daughter getting
that's
killed.
not funny, though. That's not funny.
But they up there performing. Yo, I
So
swear,
you try to say my song is Black
this
Lives
is where the
Matter.
error. This is where no man. You're an idiot. My son was a dope rapper till he got locked up. But what nigga ain't no more career.
Who performed?
Tamika Mallory. Like you ain't see all the memes in the.
Nah, I didn't watch it.
They like, yo, my son is Tamika Mallory's backup dancer or either hype man. Because he didn't get to perform and he's the artist. She's in the politics, but she performing on the Grammys. Son, you talking about, like you say, this is where the errors get conflicted and I be lost. In my era, when they marched, when Al Sharpton and them marched, yeah, people talked about him not paying his bills and things of that nature and stuff like that. But they getting arrested, but they wasn't going to no Grammys, and you didn't hear, oh, they got paid, and, what's his name? What's my man name that bought the house, man? People ain't flipping for nothing. You bought a $20 million
house. That's
house.
Al Sharpton was getting church money. Church money ain't the same nowadays. You know, it wasn't the same times and now, like they were sounding like this. I'm serious. Yeah, back then
they said it's political money set aside for all these groups that do these things that they do. Whether you the Proud Boys or whatever you are, there's political money set aside for them to show up. Why you think about it when
that kind of makes sense though.
Right, because they be barricading it like it's a parade.
No, what I'm saying is that makes sense. I think like with any like organization, there's money that's put to the side, like
for them to protest.
Not for them to protest, but like if they were to get like locked up for bail money,
you would have to get that money up, not the government giving you bread.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not saying the government giving you bread. What I'm saying is that organization having a fund,
so
like the money.
You got a non-for-profit organization, Black Lives Matter, right?
Yeah.
What have you seen them do to raise money? Exactly. Silence is golden. He purchased a $20 million, George Soros, but they put the three girls, you know what I mean, the alphabet girls in the front, like they running it, but he's the one behind the scenes. They bought it. Why you think everybody in an uproar? Gilly and them ain't just flipping for nothing. People look at dudes like Hassan Campbell like, yo, he bugging. No, these dudes is talking real stuff. And it's crazy, like, I don't want to say too much because my son allegedly told Hassan Campbell when he catch him, he putting blood in his mouth for talking about him. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. This is bugged out. This is really bugged the fuck out. They getting paid to go to certain places and march.
Yeah. The thing that I don't like, that I hate about it is, like, with all of that stuff, it kind of, for the anti, the people who are on the opposite end of the actual, like, cause or what, like, they should be, advocating for, it gives them, like, ammunition to say, like, alright, well, this isn't a valid cause or things like that. That's what I hate about it.
Like, I ain't gonna front. When I first heard about Black Lives Matter, I was gonna buy a shirt. You know what I mean? I'm so glad I ain't buy a shirt because it makes you look like, you know what I mean? Like, so you down with the bullshit. Because this is what it seemed like. You don't hear nothing from them.
Yeah.
Nothing. Unless it's police killing a black person. They not out here trying to, what is their message? Like, seriously, what is the Black Lives Matter slogan? What is their, you know what I mean? Like, you had Al Sharpton and them, everybody, you had the Rainbow Coalition. You know what I'm saying? All things of that nature. Okay, they Black Lives Matter, but what? Against Black Lives Matter if it's police or if it's anybody other than black or brown killing a black man? Like, this is mind-boggling to me, man. And when you get the woman, matter of fact, it was a GoFundMe. That's what was the woman's name? Who was her daughter? I think she was from St. Louis or something. I don't want to say it was, what's the name that got killed in the house? But it might have been. The EMT chick.
Oh, Breonna Taylor?
Breonna Taylor. It might have been her mother. They raised money. Her mother didn't get the bread. This is all public. You can look it up. The woman, she spoke out after the Grammys like, yo, stop using my daughter's name to get paid off my daughter. Because I never met y'all. Y'all never sat down. Matter of fact, they said Tamika Mallory and my son, she was out there at one of the marches, like thinking that she was going to meet them. And they walked past her and blew off, like not even knowing, you here for her. Shit crazy, man. Shit crazy.
Yeah, man.
But
stuff like that, I think stuff like that contributes to like the distrust within the community too.
That's facts.
Like, it sucks, man. That sucks.
Yo, but it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. It don't get no realer than that, man. Like, really, man? And you know what? He could care less. He in that house chilling, like, yeah, go ahead and march. You don't see him marching. You ain't never seen him. I don't even think I've seen 3 women that they put in the front marching. And then they join forces with Antifa. And like I said, all you gotta do is think about it. Or if you know somebody in Philly and you talk about Antifa, they'll tell you Antifa and blacks don't mix. And everybody was trying to paint the picture during the Trump administration, and when all of these riots was happening, it's not Antifa is not a movement, it's an idea, whatever they were saying, but it's bullshit. They latched on to Black Lives Matter, and it's crazy. And they out there getting money, and they getting money off the deaths of these people. You know what I mean? Just imagine if your kid died to violence from police or something like that, and they come in to your city and they marching, right? They protesting, and you might have insurance, policy on your children and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And trust me, being in that situation, you could care less about that money. You know what I mean? But when you see people buying $20 million houses, and hold on, they was down here, I ain't never met this a day in my life. Yo, she up on the Grammys performing, and they chanting I ain't never met these fucking people. The one day I did see them, they walk past me like they ain't know me. You'll be tight.
Yeah, nah. You more than tight.
Because you ain't getting your kids back.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they profiting off a mishap that happened to your child.
Yeah.
Or
It's like
your
you said, like
brother
no
or
amount of
whatever.
money. There's no amount of money that can replace your kids. You ain't getting your kids back, but somebody's taking advantage
That shit is crazy.
of
man.
a sad situation, of a tragic situation, and,
That shit
and
is
benefit
bananas.
from it. Yeah, nah, that's crazy.
That shit is bananas, man.
Yeah, that's some foul stuff, man. I don't know how people doing that could, like, their conscience, like, my conscience would crush me or something like that. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Greed, man.
Huh?
Greed. That's what America was built on.
Yeah.
So they found their lane. Let's get in here. Let's start it's supposed to be non-for-profit.
Yeah, non-profits though. Non-profits make the most money.
Right, but the idea of a non-profit and the way
Supposed to
it's
be
supposed to
community
work,
support.
you're supposed to, if you are going to carry money over, that money has to directly go into the day-to-day operations. You're not supposed to have money
Right.
like that.
You're supposed to, and that's what I'm saying, like community support. So
Whatever you doing,
it.
you gotta go back to that. And if you raise more, you're not supposed to have over a certain amount of money. And each year you can't carry over a certain amount of money. It's crazy.
Yeah. Another loophole.
Yeah, it's called stealing.
Yeah.
It's called stealing. Ain't no loophole.
It is a loophole.
Okay, what kind of loophole? Fruit Loops?
No, I'm just saying. Like that's one of the things that that's how people in the economy they do stuff.
That's facts. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's a loophole. Like the Wall Street cats, they be finding loopholes, making all this money. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, not to get off topic, but I'm going. You finished with this, or you want to keep going?
We can switch. Go ahead.
You see what they're doing, right?
What?
They see that Dogecoin.
Oh yeah, nah.
That Coinbase. I'm gonna tell you what's fucked up about that.
What you mean? You think Coinbase is gonna do?
Coinbase is gonna be a high volatile stock, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Coinbase is a platform to buy cryptocurrency.
Coinbase is directly a part of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They trying to tell you it's every coin. If you looked at it today when they went public,
yeah,
they didn't have Dogecoin on it.
They don't know.
But they had the other coins.
No. They don't support all cryptocurrency. Remember,
Right.
Dogecoin started as a joke. So actually, Coinbase has reported that they will offer Doge in the future.
You know why?
This was before they went public.
No. I'm gonna tell you why they doing it. Because everybody was wondering. That stock wasn't supposed to be at fucking damn near $400 today.
No, it opened at $250. It got to $3.
No. Listen to what I'm telling you.
What?
It wasn't even supposed to be that high.
Oh, okay.
They were saying the stock was supposed to come in low because when it came in high, it directly affected Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Bitcoin
I never seen
started
anything.
dropping.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that said it was supposed to open low. Like I think everything I saw expected it to be multiple hundreds. But what I'm saying is like that platform doesn't support all crypto. There's another one where that you can only get on like My Crypto or something like that. That's also like right now it's less than a cent.
Right.
But it's supposed to be one that has promise in the future.
Well,
but not
today, this morning, when they was announcing that it was going public, they all said to a man, this is what happens when behind the scenes that they was like they had to break it down because they know a lot of people are dealing with stocks that don't really know that your stock right now, you can't buy it. You can't trade it at all right now. But it's making money or losing money right now.
Yeah.
So that's why you come in and you always wonder, how is it down and it just open? Because it's trading.
Nah, yeah, you have free
right. So
free
they've been doing when they told everybody the insiders, which they don't want, like they did with the GameStop. They was pissed off that they want them to go to court. That's insider trading and all this BS, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened with Coinbase. And they was mad that it started affecting Bitcoin. And the dude had to get on there like, hold on, it's never going to be able to affect Bitcoin because it's directly, Bitcoin pretty much started Coinbase.
Yeah, well, Bitcoin is like king crypto.
Right.
So, like, but I think I'm anticipating for when they actually make Doge available on their platform, because I think that's gonna have some valuable impacts.
Nah, Doge just need to keep doing what they do.
They do, but what I'm saying is, I think it's gonna be valuable impacts because Doge is doing what it's doing without that right now.
Right, because if you really look it up, it's a meme stock.
Yeah.
That's how they label it, a meme stock.
Yeah, but it was because it was supposed to be a joke.
Because what happened was the reason why everybody called it at first Dogecoin was because they had the dog and people were saying it was related to the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said the way it came about was somebody saw the dog in the back of a Dodge. I forget what kind of car it was. And they was like, that's nice, a Dodge coin. And they had the dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then they said, next thing you know, this shit came out. But one thing about it that's true, I don't even know where you could get that. Now, Bitcoin you could get.
What you mean, like it?
You could put your hands on the Bitcoin.
Oh, nah, Doge right now I don't think has any physical coins in circulation. There are companies that are accepting them as like from a virtual standpoint though.
Where you getting it virtual at?
From your so you have to have a platform app that has a Doge wallet. So like I know Robinhood is designated to have a Doge wallet coming soon. I think there might be two. I think it's it's either two. The number in my head is two Doge wallets out there.
But this is what I'm saying. You saying coming?
No, currently.
Oh, okay.
I think there's two Doge wallets currently. I don't know what platforms they're on because I got Robinhood. You know what I'm saying? So but there are platforms that offer Doge wallet, and then Robinhood is supposed to be bringing that. And there's rumors that Coinbase, when they make it available, will also have a Doge wallet.
Oh, this is funny.
Yeah, because like Mark Cuban, I think he announced they accepted at Mavericks games. There's one bank, I want to say it's either J.P. Morgan or somebody else that said they accepted.
They got to if it's blown, because like right now they say you can pay in Bitcoin to buy cars.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. And apparently they're saying like Elon Musk has something planned for 420, so we'll see. I think the craziest part about it is like it started as a joke, and what drove it is the social media like infatuation with it, and that's like driving up. That's what's driving up the price right now is the popularity. Like it was trending number one on Twitter.
See, the thing about it is the money. Like I told you, and I forgot to look it up, but it was somebody that spent some money over the weekend that drove this joint up.
Yeah, but that's always like I think that's with any of them though. But we're seeing it in the beginning of the season.
Right, but what I'm saying is Doge. That's what I'm talking about. Doge was sticking around. It was at that. It wasn't even that. It was like around 5-6 cents. It got up to like.
Yeah, last Tuesday it was 6 cents.
7, something like that. But then it got up to 7, went back down to 6. But once, I forget, it was either 6 million or 60,000. It was out the blue. That they was like, I forgot who it was.
They
was
sold or bought?
They bought. When they bought that, it jumped because they was like, yo, it's going to stay right around there because it's they kept saying it's like a meme coin. It's like a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Did they cap it yet? I haven't seen they cap it
yet.
Yeah. So like that's the thing too. Like I think also because with Bitcoin, what people got to realize is that's capped. So I think that also allowed the price to go where it was at too. Because kind of like when we talk about in like products, like when it's a exclusive type thing, that drives the price up. So like when you talk about like Gucci and stuff like that, like all of that stuff is mad expensive because it's looked at as exclusive. So like when you cap something, that means there's a limit to it. So I think what they're doing is trying to get as much interest as possible, get as much money in there as possible, and then once you cap it and it becomes limited is a loose term. Like I don't think they ever run out of it, but that's when the price goes up. But like I was telling you, I had somebody tell me in 2010 about Bitcoin. That makes me sick to this day. Like I don't know what it was at the time he told me, but I looked up a joint, or my wife looked it up and was like, if you invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2010, you'd have like, I think she said 400 million right now. And then like so like I was like, I'd take a small end of that. Be like, if I put $20 on it, you know, I still have multi-millions off of that.
All that shit is the luck of the draw.
It definitely is, yeah.
With Bill Gates and them. That was a bullshit stock too.
That's crazy.
And they asked everybody to join in, and everybody that joined in, all of them are multi-millionaires.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And that shit happened in the garage.
Yeah.
College dudes that dropped out and was just fucking with tech, you know what I'm saying? And was like, yo, we might have some.
Yeah, nah, that we'll see. Keep monitoring that.
I know my man. I ain't gonna say your name, but I know that Bitcoin. I know you wish you, even though what he did, like I told you, he paid his daughter's school off with it. So you just think about that.
Yeah, that alone, like I always looked at that. Like,
back then, when they was doing it, it wasn't even a penny. So it was like Doge.
Yeah.
But then it went to a penny. And I used to hear these dudes talking about this shit all the time. Like, yo, shit got up to 1 cent.
Yeah,
and you be like, yo, man.
You happy about some shit going to a penny?
Right, but dudes was like, yo, I'm telling you why I used to do this. Man, I ain't doing that bullshit. You got a penny. Nah, man. But like, y'all got 10,000 shares. But then when, like you see with Doge, the volatility of it, it get to a penny, then that shit drop back down.
Yeah.
Then it get up to a penny,
it drop back down. You would go crazy just watching it all day long. Like, it will kill you.
Right.
But thinking back, like, if you invest in Doge in January of this year, right? It's at like 13 cents or something now, right? If you was to invest in like January of this year, you would be, each share was like 0.0, it was less than a penny, I'll tell you that, right? So think about like throwing like $100 on that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, yo, if you go buy a pair of sneakers, like LeBron's or something, them joints is like over $200, ain't they?
Yeah.
So you take that money and you put that on, and say you put that joint on Doge, like you be like, yo, or as a Christmas gift, you was like, yo, I'm gonna take the money that I buy a pair of Timbs or some sneakers with and put it on this. Yo, you'll be a millionaire today. That's crazy.
Somebody told me that we should talk stocks, and it's funny that we ended up getting into this shit tonight, because I said I didn't want to do it. But it's funny that you brought up that analogy, because the dude that I told you to look up, we ain't going to say his name, because I don't want to, you know what I mean? But he said that's how he got into it.
Good Christmas gift?
No. He said he got into doing stocks because his favorite sneakers, he was like, he like me, he don't wear nothing but Nike, right? So he said he just happened to look at how much the stock was. So he was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy a couple of shares of stock into Nike because that's my favorite company. The dude said, just getting into Nike, looking up how Nike make its money and things of that nature, he said he went from no money getting by to, I want to say 2 years later, let's say 5. he was able to quit his job.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then
because he started looking. No, not off of Nike though.
No, I'm not saying just off of
one
stuff.
Look
at other shit.
Looking at other things and doing that, man. And I was like, wow, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, I was telling my wife, like, cause like I told you, like the pandemic made me like really like, and I'm not the person that knows everything about it. I'm learning as I go. But the pandemic actually made me get into it because it was just like we home and it's like, yo, how could you want to start thinking about like secondary and third-dairy streams of income, especially like when you see like the trends in the economy and things like that. You got people losing their jobs. So that was a time when my company was talking about like layoffs. I didn't know if I was gonna get laid off, so these are things that I was looking into. And it's like, yo, when you get into that, you like, okay, I can literally be sitting here all day long. I could be having a conversation with you. We talking on this podcast right now, and we could be making money. You know what I'm saying? Like my money or your money could be working for you. And I think that's like the dopest thing. One of the dopest things out.
And that's homeboy's slogan. Why we eat
while you sleep.
No. He said his slogan is while they sleep we eat.
Yeah. Like that's something that I think we need to be thinking more about. Like, and I think we look at it as so much of a risk because it's like, well, you taking your money and you betting it on the success of another company. But sometimes you betting on the failure of a company too. You know what I'm saying? Like you just playing, you taking money and you're like trying to figure out ways to make that grow. Like you said, like you can take it out, go to another company. You know what I'm saying? Like you see something happens with a certain company and they drop, right? You look at their trends, like, okay, most of the year, let's say they've been at $1, right? Because I'll say like smaller stocks. Most of the year they've been at $1. Something happens with their research or whatever like that, and let's say they drop to 10 cents. That might be a company that you want to buy shares in, because whenever they figure out whatever that issue was, they may go back to that $1, or they may go or double or triple that $1. You know what I'm saying? So you playing those losses and you winning, and it's like, okay, well now I think you probably leveled out how much you gonna your they call it a green candle, right? When your stock is going up, it's green. So I'm gonna take this money and I'm researching other companies that may got something new coming down the pipeline, things like that. So I think like with like what the example I gave, where you taking that money that you would spend on a pair of Jordans or something like that, and you throw it in the stock. Like there's some things out there that you could get a good amount of shares with $100, $200. You know what I'm saying? And if you chilling in the crib watching a movie or something like that, and you make, even if you make $100, that's something that's more. That's $100 more than what you have going in.
Well, I got a couple of stocks, but we maybe get into stocks, and it was funny. But like I was telling you, a lot of people don't discuss finances with people they don't know. And I was away, and a dude, like, he kept the paper, but we was like, yo, you know, you ain't supposed to have the paper. And he was like, no. He was like, don't worry about it, right? So we just looking at him and shit like, he bugging. So one day, like, he was like, why? He was like, you know, you're a fireman, right? Yeah, we told him. So he was like, yeah, you know, no. He was like, everybody in here wonder why I had a paper, right? You know, I was like, yeah. He was like, well, I go to the desk and get the paper. He was like, you like sports, right? I was like, yeah. I was like, yo, you in here gambling and shit? So he was like, nah. He was like, well, you can call it that. So I was like, we ain't got no fucking money. He was like, what are you doing, man? He was like, listen to me. He was like, I'll give it tell you something. I ain't telling nobody. It ain't nobody's business. You know what I mean? And this is why I say, you gotta watch who you deal with and things of that nature and how you guard yourself. Somebody's watching. You know what I mean? So he goes, how much would you say you would spend a week just bullshit? I was like, I don't He's like, never mind. Then it got to the point where the shit started bothering me. What the fuck is he talking about? Then I ended up doing the shit one day, like, you know what I mean? So now he not really talking to me. You know what I mean?
Right, the first time he was like, yeah.
He's just sitting, like, he didn't really deal with people. So I go, and I'm like, yeah, man, I don't even smoke cigarettes, man. So he was like, yeah, I like smoking cigarettes sometimes, especially when I'm stressed out or whatever. So then he goes, go ahead and tell him. So I was like, tell you what. He's like, you ain't come out here to be talking about no fucking cigarettes. He was like, so how much? And I was like, yo, man, this shit came out to fucking like, almost like $200 a month. I mean, $200 a week.
A week, yeah.
And he was like, okay, so times that by 4. And I was like, I know what you're saying. And he was like, right. I was like, but that shit ain't happening no more. He was like, right. So you just gonna sit it in the bank. So I was like, yeah. He was like, He was like, this is what you do. He was like, just pick a stock that you like. He was like, don't put the whole 800. He was like, take $50, $100, because most stocks about $40 you can get into. So I'm like, nah, man, I ain't doing that shit. I watch people, even with their deferred comp and their 401k, they gotta watch the TV all day. He was like, that's people that's aiming. He was like, now you're gonna have to watch the shit a couple of days. He was like, because you want to make sure that you not fucking going broke.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was like, but he was like, do that, and you know, boom, boom. So you know, we exchanged numbers and shit. And you know, I ain't like that. Everybody, y'all done heard me say, I'm not that kind of dude. Like, I don't know you like that, but this dude, out of everybody around, he was attached to me, and he told me that I was helping him, and I ain't know how the fuck I was helping him, right? Come home, and the first stop I looked at was, the first two was Apple and Tesla. Tesla at the time was, I think, $60 to $80. It wasn't $100, right? And I kept saying, I'm gonna do it. Now bullshit. I'm sitting talking to my wife, and her cousin's girl go, you didn't get into Tesla or nothing like that? And I was like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I gotta go and find somebody that do that shit. She was like, you could do the shit from the app. Cash App. So I looked, I was like, oh shit, this shit done went up. Now this shit is at like I think it was like $160. So I'm like, y'all can do this shit tomorrow. Put it off. Next time I looked at this shit was like 3 something. Then it just started climbing to where it's at now, right? Apple, the same thing. I called homeboy and he was like, hey, how everything going? He was like, let me guess, you put the shit off, right? I was like, yeah, man. I was like, but my goddamn sneaker collection, he was like, so that's what you look at. He's like, how much is the sneakers what was the last pair of sneakers you bought? I said, I always look for the deal. He was like, I didn't ask you that. What was the last pair of sneakers that you bought? How much was it? I told him. He was like, okay, this is what you do. Take that money and invest. And that's what I did. And I started buying, I bought Apple, and then the shit became like, to me it became like a habit. Like every day I'm looking, I'm reading shit, you know what I mean? And them dollar stocks started being intriguing. You ride a dollar stock up. They tell you once you get it up to, once it doubles, triple, you start putting what they call a trailing stop loss on it, where it don't go below this point,
right,
get the money and get out of there.
Yeah.
You won. Man,
don't
listen,
get greedy.
I'm at home, I don't do shit. I'm
Nah, I think stocks, like, I think that's something that we should teach kids about, like, because I think that teaches like finance and how to manage money too. Like I think that's something that we should teach kids about even like when they're coming up. Like that's something that they should be learning about in grade school. Like I'm mid-30s and I'm just learning about this stuff, like, cause I always been scared of it, cause for me it was always like a foreign concept. It's like, all right, well I'm putting my money in this account, buying like shares of a bank. You know what I'm saying? But you hear about shareholder meetings, right? At LA companies, like that's who those people are. Mm-hmm. Those are people who have the most shares in that company, and when you have those shares in that company, you can make actual decisions for that company. If enough of you who are sitting in that room agree with each other. But we don't even like be thinking that like far in advance. It's just like, yo, all right, well, what happens if I buy this stock, I ride my wins and losses, whatever. You don't know what can happen, right? So like people who bought in, let's say they bought into Bitcoin before it was a penny, right? If you bought into Bitcoin before it was a penny, that shit's at like $60-something thousand a share, right? You can't even spend that amount of money. You got enough. You definitely, if you cashed out right now, you could buy pretty much.
You ain't gotta cash out the whole shit.
But I'm just saying that, like, if
you can cash out 2 shares.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I'm saying like for doing something like, yo, I want to own a team, or right. I want to like have enough stake in this company to where I can go in this room and make a decision for this company, like, and move. Like, you got enough money to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you was one of them people, so like when they talk about like money is power, that's what I think of, like things like that.
But you look at, like you said you in your mid-30s. Warren Buffett and them didn't start early.
Yeah, nah, it's not something.
And guess what? Them dudes are the titans.
Yeah.
You feel me? They might have started in their early to mid-30s. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some people started later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, but them are the people. You know, I find myself more and more like people be thinking, and my wife will tell you, I can have, and this is where I say like my capacity to be into this right here, and this is going on, and I'm into that too.
Mm-hmm.
I could be listening to something on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll try and pick videos that last about an hour, 2 hours, mm-hmm. right? But the whole time I'm looking at stocks, yeah, and reading up on stocks.
You like having the multiple things on and on.
Like, and I have to do that. Like, I have to have that.
Right.
Like even studying, I can't study in a room that's quiet. Mm-hmm. It has to be music playing for me to be able to grasp it. You know what I'm saying? And mm-hmm. understand what I'm reading, and you know what I mean, things of that nature. But yeah, I look at this shit all day long. Yeah. All day long. I have nothing to do, and when I get tired of watching it, I cut it off for a couple of hours. Then I go back to make sure, like I told you, Dogecoin. I got out of Dogecoin and I got into, I took the money that I had in Dogecoin because I got tired of it. It was getting stuck. It was plateauing. Mm-hmm. And when it started plateauing and it was trading sideways and things of that nature, I was like, this shit don't make no sense, because what Elon Musk is doing, he's playing a game. Mm-hmm. And I heard somebody say that. They was like, everybody follows him, but he's just a dude that he knows he has social media. And people will follow him, so he knows he could tell you one thing, but it's really affecting something else. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That he gotta play.
He gotta play it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That look over here shit. Like, I need you to do this, mm-hmm. and while you doing that, this is going on over here for him.
Yeah.
So I sold off, and then the other stock, it was going up and going down, and everybody kept saying, yo, you stay in that, stay in that, stay in that. And I went to do something, and my account told me I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, if I can't do that, then fuck it. I ain't doing nothing with this money anyway. Put it back in Dogecoin, mm-hmm. right? So now my money in Dogecoin done double, damn near triple. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I know one thing, it ain't getting back to where it ain't. Once it gets a little past double, I'm pulling out that double part, and I'll keep playing with what I originally had in there, and that'll go into another stock. And you got people that buy stocks that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people don't know. You got stocks that pay you monthly and quarterly.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
All right, well, we'll talk off the camera.
Yeah.
Don't say I ain't teach you nothing like you be trying to say I ain't teach you hip-hop and all that bullshit.
I didn't say, I never said you teach me hip-hop.
I think I heard that one time.
Nah, you ain't
I
hear
might
that.
have mistake.
Yeah. No, but no, I'm gonna keep my Dogecoin until the only thing that will make me sell Doge is if the price gets below what my floor is. So if you buy stocks, you'll notice it gives you the amount of shares that you got. This is for people who don't know the amount of shares that you got, and it'll also tell you what your average cost is.
Right.
For me, I'm confident enough in Doge that I would not sell Doge unless it dropped below my average cost. And the reason why I would get out at that point is because once it dropped below my average cost, I'm going to see how far it drops and then put my money back in because I will lower my average cost. That way, when it gets back to wherever it was, I'm going to make more money off of that.
No, you misunderstood what I was saying.
No.
I wasn't saying sell it all. I'm saying the profit that I got now, once it drops a little below, say 10% below my profit right now, I'm taking my profit, but I'm leaving the rest, leaving that in there and let that build back up because you keep pulling. It's called taking your profit to reinvest in something else. That money right now you're playing with free money.
No, I know what you're saying. I got what you're saying.
So you shouldn't have to come out your pocket.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is I'm not gonna move any of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna move any of it. I fully believe that Doge is gonna. I can see it getting to 1,000 a share.
I can see that too.
And
it's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while, but I look at it like this, right? So, like I told you, 2010, do tell me about Bitcoin, right? If it do half, let's say it do a quarter of what Bitcoin is doing right now, right? So you're talking about tens of thousands of shares, right? A quarter of 60, right? Tens, somewhere in the teens. I'm not a mathematician, right? I'm good.
Right.
I'm more than good. My kids is good. You know what I'm saying? We straight. You know what I'm saying? So that's for me. I'ma just ride that out. Now, I keep stuff in the bank because I will make deposits into my portfolio, but not actually buy a stock if I'm not interested in it. Just to have it in my portfolio to be okay, if I want to invest in this stock, I got it there. I don't gotta wait. Where it's okay, because sometimes they'll hit you with you don't have this money in your readily available in your account, so you gotta wait the processing time. If you watch stocks, sometimes if you are 2 hours too late, you could be fucked. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you that's why I don't use Cash App.
I use Robinhood and Vanguard.
I got in Robinhood because Robinhood was the only one selling Doge that I trusted.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't like Robinhood after what they did to the people with GameStop.
Yeah.
But Robinhood and I got TD, right? And what happened was the original stock that I bought, I had bought through Cash App. But something was I really didn't like Cash App for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I went the same night, opened up the TD account, bought the same stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the time, let's say it was $2.50. But like I said, at night, they trade it.
Right.
Where Cash App is fucked up. All the markets closed around the same time. But they call it around, what they call it? They call it, it's not insider trading, but what happens is you won't see it tonight, and even overseas they won't see it. But in the morning when the bell rings at 9:30 here, it's opening up whatever time it is there, as long as it's not nighttime, right? So 9:30, that's when the adjusted price comes into play, right? Or whatever happened overnight. So now, Cash App don't jump in at 9:30 when they ring the bell. Cash App waits till 10 o'clock.
Oh, so you could miss.
Yo, it was almost $1 difference in the stock.
Yeah, no.
So I was losing in Cash App, but winning on TD, and I'm like, how the hell is this happening? So I went back, like you said, average cost. My average cost on TD, same night, was $1 cheaper than.
Yeah, because you bought in at a different time, right? And like they go up and down.
Right.
Yeah, only thing I use Robinhood for is Doge. I got Doge on Robinhood. I got Vanguard for like my bigger stocks, like Tesla, and then I was mad today because work was super busy. I was planning to move everything else that I got into Coinbase, but I got busy at work and couldn't do it until after market, so I gotta wait till the market open tomorrow. And unfortunately, whatever it opens at is gonna be my purchase price, which will affect my shares, because they went up by over $100 today. I think it was like $150 something they went up their first day. So like that was the plan, was to move that into Coinbase. But that's like my bigger stocks there, and then I use Coinbase also for like other crypto. Like I got one crypto stock that I just keep because I just like messing around on there just to see like the trends of different cryptos and stuff like that.
I'll just go look it up. I ain't messing with no other crypto. You know, man, I deal with regular real-time stocks, and I'm gonna tell you, for people that don't take what I'm saying, please. Like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you invest your money and lose and be like, oh well, y'all saw Wise and Chris. So disclaimer. This is
we are not financial advisors.
Right, and this is entertainment purpose only. So if you try and sue me, you ain't getting a motherfucking thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when we come out of court, I might spit on you. But like you got Apple, the chips that's in your phone, they don't own it.
Oh yeah, you said the other.
And they don't have they don't have the licensing or nothing. If that company ever goes public, I'm on that. I'm on that. And they won't tell you the name of the company yet, nothing. But they saying Apple is doing everything they in their power to try and get a licensing deal with them so it'll come under Apple, because they know that at any point, if that company goes public, it'll be more, they're going to blow up way more than Apple. Because everything that Apple does is on this chip. And the people that got the licenses to the chip. Because they actually, Apple's trying to get into cars like Tesla. And they tried to do it with Kia, but the what's the name backfired. The deal backfired.
No, I would say I advise people to get into stocks. I think it's something cool to do, because like you said with your man that told you to calculate money that you like just spend a week. Like even like people, my folks who like go to work every day and you in corporate America, think about the money that you spend. Like so if you go like maybe you stop at Wawa, Starbucks or whatever like that, get your coffee. If you get like a breakfast sandwich or whatever like that, calculate that. Do you get snacks throughout the day? Do you buy lunch? Do you order out to eat every night? Type deal like that, and then add all of that stuff up and see what it comes to. You know what I'm saying? I bet you'd be shocked at how much money, like extra money you spend, right? And you take that extra money and just put it into something that could potentially make you money, right? And just see what happens. I think everybody always says stuff, and like your man said, like, what you just gonna do, put it in the bank? I was listening to a podcast, and they was like, there's like people who make a lot of money, they don't waste time leaving their money in banks or in accounts that don't have the potential to make more money. So like that was something that was kind of eye opening to me, and we kind of touched on that like a couple weeks ago, talking about like the different types of savings accounts, interest rates. But yeah, I think like definitely multiple streams of income, making money when you at your leisure is definitely something dope, and I think people should get into and be more open to the idea and not fearful of it, because pretty much you investing anyway. It's just whether your investment is something that has the potential to yield like a return, right? You buy sneakers, that's an investment, right? You buy a car, that's an investment, but all of that stuff is depreciating.
Right.
You're not getting nothing back off of that.
But I will say this: if you do decide to get into stocks, do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just go on YouTube and look at people just tell you about how to go about buying stocks, because it's easy. Like, we just told you how you could go buy a stock, right? But we didn't get into as far as the monthly, yearly, and things of that nature, quarterly money that these companies make. You know what I'm saying? The dividends that they make. You know, the profits. You know what I'm saying?
Their earnings reports.
Their earnings reports and all of that. A lot of that stuff is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got into a stock, right? It was pharmaceuticals. And they, you know, I was told that those are good stocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one stock came down, and it was like, I bought the stock at like $7, right? And $7 a share. So I bought like 100 shares. And what happened was, they had something coming down the pipeline that was supposed to put it through the roof. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm looking at everybody on YouTube. I'm subscribing and all this stuff to these channels, because they talking about stocks. And, you know, pretty much everybody's saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I ended up coming across a dude that he was like, listen, everybody on YouTube will tell you how to buy a stock, this, that, and the third. He said, but one thing about me, I'm going to show you my portfolio.
Yeah, I started watching him too, man. He told me, yeah.
And if you go back into his video history, mm-hmm. you'll see that he started the 100K challenge mm-hmm. in 2020 with nothing. Mm-hmm. And he just started getting into this, right? So he was like, you know, I'm going to show you my portfolio. And he was like, I dare anybody that you see on YouTube, he was like, a lot of them watch me. So I started deleting people, but one dude I didn't delete. I think I got busy and didn't delete him. So it came up. He mentioned Homeboy. So I was like, you know, bullshit set. So you looking like, yeah, he coming at him on some bullshit? Like, this dude don't mention nobody's name. Mm-hmm. All he said was, other YouTubers watch me, and they won't show you their portfolio. So tell the haters, show the portfolio. Mm-hmm. So that you can see the ups and downs and not just them winning. Right. And how much money they spend and things of that nature. Right. So Homeboy ends up mentioning some name. So I go in, and he was like, listen, this is no disrespect. And he mentioned, he was like, I made money listening to this dude. So if you watching me, join his channel, because he know what he's talking about. This is how I got to where I'm at.
Mhm.
And he ended up mentioning the stock that I had, and he was like, yeah, he touched on it today, but he do multiple videos every day. He's gonna come back and let you know about this stock right here, so I'm not gonna go into it. Sure enough, homeboy makes about 3-4 videos a day, and then he does a weekly recap.
Mhm.
Right? So he came back. The ticker symbol was ZOM, it's Zomedica Pharmaceuticals. They came up with like an anesthesia that people could do at home, opposed to bringing their pets to the veterinarian. You could get you could buy the product from them, and
they'll ship it to your house.
They'll ship it to your house, and you'll be able to administer this to your animal or whatever like that, right? So if you still got to take your animal to the vet, but I can't explain exactly what it was, how it was, but it was supposed to put them over the top. So my man comes on and goes, yo, this is an alert. Now you can do what you want to do, but what I'm telling you is, by the end of this week, sell the stock, the whole stock.
Mhm.
It's like, because it's going up. Take your wins before you end up incurring these losses. You can wait till the end of the week if you want to, or put a trailing stop loss on it, but the stock is going to go down. You're like, sometimes, and this is what happens in companies where they have bad CEOs. This stock right here should be through the roof. You'll be living off this stock for years and years and years, but they have bad management. Sure enough, the stock went from $7 all the way back down to $2. Real talk. So you gotta do your due diligence. Like, when you see, homeboy, you know what I mean, and they telling you about stocks, if they not showing you their portfolio, how much they invest in, how many shares in each stock that they got. And he also told me something, he gave a jewel too, that if you got about 20 stocks and things of that nature, you overspending and you asking to lose.
Yeah.
He was like,
you should out that.
He was like, you should have no more than 10 stocks, and all you should be doing is riding the stock up, taking your profit. Once it start going down, sell it off, get it, reinvest. He was like, it's called rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what it is, man.
Nah, I think definitely. I started watching. I mean, he definitely got some good stuff. I would say, like, if you're getting into it, especially if in the very beginning, invest in stuff that you know and believe in. Like dude was talking about with sneakers. Like, if you're big into sneakers, you got a brand that you like and you can get behind, like, do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll know about that company, you'll understand what would make that stock go up or down, right? So, like, if you're a sneakerhead and, like, Nike comes out with a line or a new sneaker and people are like, these are trash, or, like, there's something that happens bad with Nike, like, in management where, like a scandal or something come out, right? Like, you would be like, yo, that ain't good for the company. You know it's going to be a drop, right? Or if it's like, yo, Nike just came out with this, they coming out with this crazy joint. Like, if you track the releases, you like, oh, they coming out with this new sneaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is supposed to be crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't follow, like, sneaker companies, but I'm pretty sure, like, Adidas stock went up a couple days ago when they announced that the Yeezy was the most profitable sneaker of all time or something like that. Like, I'm pretty sure they got, like, a boost with that. I don't know that for sure because I don't follow, like, the Adidas stock, but I'm sure they get, when he first announced the Yeezy and that he was pairing with Adidas, I'm pretty sure the stock went up at that point. So, like, those are things that you can look at, like Starbucks and stuff like that. People was into Starbucks Apple is a popular one. Like if you're a Microsoft person, any of that stuff. Like,
and don't let the price of a stock, if say like you want to get into Tesla or you want to get into Apple or anything where your first stock might be $150 or in the case of Tesla maybe $700. All right, you in on the ground floor. You got one stock that is worth $700. So in order to double, you got to get up to about 14. You know what I'm saying? But you can always go in and keep buying. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing is, your average price will go up.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you'll have shares of the stock to where, okay, boom. Me personally, a lot of my stocks, I try and start off rip with at least 10 shares. You know what I mean? Some people could do 150. You know what I mean? Like he'll tell you he likes to do 150 minimum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you can't do 150, he likes to go about 75. You know what I mean? When I come in, I start at about 10 and see where it goes. And if my average price go up a little bit or whatever, or I see it's trading sideways, it's not dipping all the time too much, then I go back in. I rinse and repeat. I do what I gotta do.
Let's be clear. He's talking about the YouTube dude, not me.
Yeah,
I can't afford what's that? 150 shares of Tesla? Hell no. That's crazy.
Nah, but I'm tight with that.
Nah, I'm just making it clear. I don't want people to be like, hey, Chris, you 150? No, hell no. Hell no.
Shit, actually, the first dude I actually got into, and it was funny because y'all was talking about battle rap last week. That's how I learned about stocks.
Good?
No. Piper Boy.
Oh.
Piper Boy, you know what I mean? I know y'all like, hold on. He mentioned him, but he won't say who told about the stocks. Nah, some things ain't, the game is to be told. Nah, the game is to be sold, not told. I ain't telling him. You know what I mean? Now, if you know me on the side or whatever, I'll put you on. But, you know what I mean? He definitely do his numbers. But Piper Boy put me on, and he had he took 30,000 and put it in a Tesla. From the ground.
Nah, yeah, I know,
Cause he a battle rap blogger, but he when he started talking stocks, I was like, damn.
I've heard of people.
YouTube money? And he talked about he worked at a record label.
Yeah, I mean, he doing everything he doing is passion project. He ain't got to do nothing.
Right.
But people who bought into Tesla at that time, man, you don't have to take everything out like you said about like Bitcoin. You can take a little bit out and be like, all right, I'll live off this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm making money this entire time, not doing.
And don't get it twisted. You're gonna pay tax when you pull that money out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as it's sitting in there, you ain't paying tax on it. You can just keep playing. You know what I mean?
Like
you
Monopoly.
playing. Yeah, it's monopoly money. You know what I mean? You started out with real money though, but now you just playing with the company's money and things of that nature and moving it along. But once you pull it out and you route that shit into your bank account, you getting a letter. Okay.
Nah, I just like talking about this stuff because I feel like it's like a money conversation ain't always like doesn't always mean like yo I'm like I got this, I got that. It
right.
can be like we really like talking about stuff like we don't know 100% about it, but it's still educational. Like somebody watching this might know more than we know.
But
you know what I'm saying?
word, think about what I always say.
Education.
Education.
Yeah, nah, that's a fact, and that's why, like I'm saying, like with these conversations, I like them because it's not something that you want to go to the grave with and not tell nobody else. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to talk about this with as many people that I know as possible because I find it dope, and I just learned about it. So maybe somebody else do, and maybe somebody else can benefit off it. I'd be like, yo, if you benefit off of it, that's dope. Like, you got into it and wasn't doing it before.
You know the funny shit?
What?
I got into this shit, right? Show. But my bike club, right, we got a group chat. So one day out the blue, somebody just was like, yo, today was real fucking bloody. So I was like, yo, I ain't in no game, man. Nobody don't want to hear that bullshit. So somebody else answered like, yeah, but don't worry about it. The grass is going to grow. So I was like, oh shit. So then now everybody in the bike club just started talking, yo, I took this down the third. So my man screenshots, he took a contract out and went on vacation. But none of us never talked stock to each other until that day. You know what I mean? He pulled out a contract of one of his stocks, took $4,000, just went on vacation.
Yeah, I had not like a similar conversation, but if you talk about like none of us ever talk stock, I remember telling cause me and my close group friends got a group text, and I was just like, yo, I think these are conversations that we should have. You know what I'm saying? Because like we talk about sports and stuff like that, but what's better than like, and I'm not saying this is definitely gonna happen, but what's better than like you and your closest family, your family and friends, if y'all get rich together, right?
But that's why I was telling you when you said that you could get up on a business opportunity. Just look at it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm close with the dudes in the bike club. You close with your friends that you went to school with. I'm close with my friends and all of that. People don't speak finances a lot.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
but now when somebody open the door, now everybody just sitting back. But then once that conversation opens up, it becomes, well I fuck with this. And
some people do speak finance openly though.
I don't know too many though.
Nah, I don't know too many either because we not in those circles.
Right.
But what I'm saying
what I mean is they won't have a conversation around us if they don't know us.
I don't know about
that. I don't know nobody because it's like I said, if people hold their finances close to the vest that know you, a person that don't know you, ain't really having those conversations.
I think people hold their finances close to their chest in our circles because for the most part we live paycheck to paycheck, so it's not like you don't really feel like if you get a win, you like. It goes back to the whole ghetto situation or living in the hood situation, where it's like there's a lot of demand and not enough supply. So if I figure out a way to get a bigger piece of the pie, I'm not gonna tell you how I did that because you're gonna take away from what I can get because it's not enough.
Yeah, it's a doggy dog world.
Yeah,
but that's how.
But it's really
that's the stock market period.
It is though, but I was watching some joint the other day. Following just on the IG when he was talking about it was Monday, and he was just like, "Yo, there's enough money out here for everybody. Everybody can make money. Money, I heard somewhere else somebody talking about like money is really an idea. Like they printing this shit from machines. Right. They're not running out of money. So like just because somebody else figure out a way to get some extra." Or if you figure out a way to get some extra, if you tell somebody else how they can get extra, don't mean they taking away from you. It just means that y'all can both.
I don't think most people look at it that way. I think most people look at it like, if you think about it, 9 times out of 10, the person with the most money in the room will look like he's the brokest person in the room because they don't want you to try and do no harm to them. They don't want they don't want to attract an energy that they don't want to have to deal with. Mm-hmm. So if I come in a room and I look like everybody else or worse than everybody else, people tend to leave you alone. Mm-hmm. Opposed to the guy that come in the room flashy, everybody flocks to him. You know what I'm saying? Because people want what you got. Mm-hmm. And some people in the room is looking at you like, I'm going to get what he got by any means necessary. Mm-hmm. As like we talked about with the baseball player getting the money. How if we got that kind of money, certain people, everybody can't go along for the ride. Mm-hmm. Everybody can't go along for that ride. And I've seen it being from Mount Vernon, like you got your Puff Daddies, your Heavy D's and all of that. Everybody can't go along with Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Everybody can't go along on that ride, man.
Mhm.
Cause trust me, envy and jealousy is realer than a motherfucker, man.
No, most definitely.
And you could take a dude on a ride, but just the mere fact of your presence in the room, his presence in the room don't match your presence.
Mhm.
Like Jay-Z said. What did he say on that joint?
Your handshake ain't matching. No, that was Beanie. Your handshake ain't matching your smile.
No, when Jay-Z said, you'll know that y'all cool when y'all cool because y'all both don't have nothing. It's one of his songs.
Right,
when he
yeah,
talk about that.
Soon as you get something, you find out. I forgot how he.
I forgot it too, but
yeah.
that's real.
Nah, yeah.
Like when you get it, and somebody know you got it, they're gonna be like, yo, I get that.
Mhm.
Yo, man, you know what I'm saying? And then you got people that you might not have never met that be like, who's that just came in the room? I ain't never seen them in this room before.
Mhm.
Now they might have just as much as you, maybe more.
Mhm.
But they want to know who are you to be in a room with them type shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, but yeah, like, with the brothers that was here, you know, last week, sure, I wouldn't mind having a conversation with them about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we could sit down and talk. First of all, you know me, I like money.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Always did. You know what I mean? Growing up with nothing, man, when you get your hand on a little bit of money, man, and I still be the same old hoodie wise all the time. I ain't changed nothing.
Yeah, I just think it's like, yo, like and not to knock it. Well, it's not something that you would want to pursue, but I understand why people pursue it when you're in an area where, like I said, demand is high and supply is low. So you gotta get it how you gotta get it sometimes. But when you think about people who hustle like illegally, that's an investment too and a gamble too, and one that has higher potential for negative outcomes than like you would if you took money and put it into a stock. You know what I'm saying? So like I think what we gotta realize is that we taking gambles anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, like one of these gambles, one is legal, you know what I'm saying? And two, like it has the potential to bring you something back positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's legal to go on a shopping spree too. But like do you need that right now?
But you think about it like this, even with this. When you don't watch you don't watch the stock channels and things of that nature like that.
No, I follow it on my phone.
See, you gotta watch.
I can't do that though. I'm at work during the day.
You get a break.
Yeah, my break's 15. I don't.
Yeah, cause like I know people that got turned off by the GameStop situation.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about the fact that it blew up.
No, you talking about like what Robinhood did.
No, not even Robinhood. When that whole GameStop shit happened, right? People woke up. It was like an Elon Musk dude that put them onto it. He was in the Reddit chat. He was like, he owned the most stocks in GameStop. And he was like, listen, I advise y'all, everybody that's been on this train, tomorrow morning, whatever time you gotta wait to, but by 12 o'clock, everybody's gonna be a millionaire. He told them that. So I would advise you to take your winnings. He ended up waking up in the morning and sold all his stocks and collected the bread. Everybody that listened to him, right? By 10:30, everybody that listened to him and cash out, they ain't got to work no more, right? So you have people paying off student loans, you have people buying dream homes, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
By 12 o'clock, all of this was going on to the ladies. on the stock channel, they were killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, and they started, no, they really was talking about the haves and the have-nots. They was
because of most of the people that won with that were
so
like the average people.
But they was really talking about it and was not only using them, but using people like me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, see, right now you got Wives and Chris wanting to go on, and they on YouTube listening to such and such, and then now they want to be able to. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen.
But this is why I go back to why I say we should be having these conversations, because I feel like we haven't been included in those conversations, and that's not by accident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I'm gonna tell you, it was a rich dude that got on it, and then Elon Musk came on too.
Mm-hmm.
And my man, shout out to who's the Dallas owner?
Jerry Jones?
No.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban got on, and all three of them was like this. Y'all are sitting up here painting a narrative that everybody that have something don't want to see the have-nots get it.
Right.
They all were saying the same narrative.
That's why they pushing Doge.
Right. They was like, yo, guess what? What you doing is, what they did, kudos to them.
Right.
Because you sitting here and you're on TV, national television, condemning these people, and you're trying to turn away people that are just learning, because we in a pandemic. Like you said, you started in the pandemic.
Yeah.
They was like, you telling people that sitting at home doing nothing else to do. Now, instead of them being able to go out in the restaurants and spend their money that way, they choosing to do this. What you're doing is wrong, because you know what happened with GameStop is what's been happening forever with the stock market.
Yeah.
Only difference is we go into pristine restaurants and saying, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to sell my side.
Right, they having a round table discussion.
Right, they having a round table discussion. So just because they license stockbrokers, that make it fair? That's not fair to the little man.
Right.
Now the little man wins, and you on it. Yo, they was cutting people. Yo, they let them talk. This ain't no lie. So I'm gonna tell you, cause I was sitting there and she was like, you know how she is. She tried to pay me with attention and shit. Mm-hmm. But she had to really sit up and was like, are they really on TV saying this shit? I was like, you hearing it for yourself. Because a dude came on to promote something, and they was like, God said so. The guy had just got on, he was like, yeah, well, you know, welcome to the program, but you know, right now we on live television, and I know you heard about GameStop. He was like, yeah, you know, guys are lucky people, da-da-da-da. They was like, oh, time's up. You got to call back. On everything I love. He was like, time's up. We got breaking news. You got to call back another day, and we'll talk to you that day. Hopefully we don't have something like this going on. This is unbelievable. GameStop is still going through the roof. These people are cashing out. I can't believe it. They was like, this is live TV. They like, well, coming up next. And he was still going on, but they're like, well, we got to go to commercial. He was like, well, when we come back, we got to dive into this. They're like, we got another guest. So the next guest comes on after the commercial. He's like, you realize this is live TV, so if we have any breaking news, now ain't no breaking news. The breaking news started early in the morning with GameStop. Mm-hmm. So the person is talking, they like, yeah, so what do you feel about GameStop? And they was like, well, you know, it is, you know, I hate to say it, but for once the little man won, and you know, the little man in America is overlooked, and you got to call back. And I was like, you'd be stupid to want to go on his show now, ever again, because he cutting you off because he's so mad, and he was trying to pull in millionaires
to agree with
him, and the millionaires was like, no, like they won.
Yeah, nah.
This has been going on for years. They won. Finally, the little man is being noticed, but everybody want to paint the picture like it's bad. It's not bad. They were able, they tried to shut down Reddit. And Reddit is just a regular chat.
Yeah.
Where anything, it's like Instagram. You can see anything on Reddit.
Yeah.
But because they named one of the groups was called Wall Street breakers or blockers or something. Oh, Reddit needs to be brought up on charges. And they was like, are you serious? Like, y'all really upset about this.
Yeah.
Like, this came out your pocket.
I couldn't imagine, like, waking up and being like, oh, shoot, like, if I hit cash out, we ain't got to work no more. That's crazy.
I'm telling you this. Everybody's getting a contract. If you tell anybody where the fuck I live,
no. Yeah.
you give anybody my new number, you will be sued and all of that. My
That's
kids
I just thought
included.
about, if y'all ever seen the movie, Dead President, when it was like, Cleon went crazy. It was like, what's wrong with Cleon? He said, he's back in Mount Vernon, handing out $100 bills to the people in church talking about God gave it to him.
Word up. Listen, man.
I told Anthony I didn't want to do
My
this.
kids think this shit is a joke.
Yo.
If I wake up and I'm rich, guess what? Everybody getting a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's signed. This is a contract. If you tell anybody that ain't supposed to know, I don't give a flying fuck. It's 6 people that are getting paid, and their debt is paid.
No.
You happen to be one of them. So be careful how you talk to me, because your ass fuck around won't get shit.
Man.
But I'm telling you, my kids can't tell nobody outside of those 6. And those 6, you will get a piece of paper with a check. And be like, yo, you better not tell nobody. My number is changing. This is the number. If anybody call me on this number that I know should not have this number, you are getting sued for the money that I gave you, and I don't give a fuck who get broke.
That situation, that's something I've always thought about, like, since a kid. Like, I got my list of, like, people, and you happen to be on that list too. So it's just like, if that ever did happen, oh man. I was actually talking, I got a question for you. Well, you got some more for stocks? But I got this question. So I bought this game, right? This game, it's like a card game. Like, you're supposed to play with your spouse, right? So it's like, it's called like conversation starters, and they got like questions in there, right? And you got, each card is a question or whatever. So the object is not to go through the entire thing. So like, when I told my wife, I was like, yo, maybe we do like 5 every time we do this, so you don't go through the entire deck. I don't know how many in there, but it's a lot. So we got to this question, right? And we did it tonight. We did a couple, but there was 2 that I wanted to cover. We're going to definitely do this one. Do you think we were designed to be monogamous?
No.
I said the same thing. She wasn't happy with my answer, but this is my justification behind it, right? At first I said, and I was wrong. She looked it up and I was wrong. I thought we were the only mammals that were monogamous. We not. But then I also said wolves, beavers, some other shit that I ain't never heard of. But the two that I was like, I recognized was wolves and beavers. She told me wolves were. I didn't believe her. I thought, I didn't think that was true. But I was like, I don't think we are designed to be monogamous flat out off of like difference in sex drive. Like, cause I think if we were designed to be monogamous, I don't think sex drives would be different in people. Because if you have people with opposite like sex drives, like if you got somebody that's like super high sex drive, somebody that's super low sex drive, it just makes for like conflict. Not saying that the relationship won't work, you know what I'm saying? But if we were designed to only be with the same person all the time, it would be no reason for a difference in sex drive, in my opinion. And I was like, but I feel like when you get asked that question from like as a husband from a wife, they take that question as, or the answer to that question as, I'm gonna do this. But no, I'm answering the question. The question is, were we designed, right? And then another thing I said too is as like justification behind it. I don't think our bodies are designed necessarily to play sports, because I think if your body was designed to play sports, nobody would ever get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, if our bodies were designed to play sports, there would never be concussions. I don't think people would get ACL injuries. Nobody would tear their Achilles, because I think your body would be callous and developed to the point where it would not be negatively impacted by those things. That's kind of my justification behind it. What do you think? You said no. Why do you think no?
Because Moses had many wives. He's in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And you always saw the commercial of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints, right?
I've never seen that commercial.
Okay, well, they're Mormons.
Oh yeah, I know about the Mormon community, but
Okay.
I'm not saying that's like
that's real.
no. I
If you go to Utah, Big Love,
No.
and they had that shit on HBO.
No, I know.
That's real. So it's not meant for, you know what I'm saying, men to have one wife.
But I'm not even saying it's just like a one-way street.
No, I'm not. I know.
I'm not even saying like men. I think women. I think we as a whole. I think women are designed to not only want to be with one partner.
Hold on.
Not that way. I won't say they want to be, right? Because when we talk about that
if you said it right, design.
Yeah.
Women could fuck many men in one night. Men can't fuck many women in one night. Because at some point, your shit ain't working no more. She just got to chill, and she can throw some Vaseline up in her shit and keep it moist. You can't.
Throw some Vaseline in there.
Nigga, lotion, whatever the fuck.
No, I honestly, I just don't think. Like when you get down to like the science.
They
of
are built to have.
No, they. I get what you're saying. I don't.
They built to be able to do that.
They're built to last longer.
Not fuck lasting longer. I'm talking about, man. You know how many chicks I know that I was cool with could fuck you. You leave, wash her shit off, and the next motherfucker coming, not even 5 minutes later. And I swear to God, I hope certain people don't see this, because they're going to be like, they're going to know certain people that I'm talking about, because it's facts. That it was a revolving door, like you was leaving out the mall.
Nah. Yeah, nah.
This is facts, man. I think now the
I
question,
love to like if
the
y'all.
question would be, would you want to know that, you know what I'm saying, your girl or your wife is fucking another dude because you do a threesome?
With another dude?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
No, that's because I wouldn't want to do that.
I ain't say would you want to.
You said could I?
Could you?
No.
I'm not saying that you wanted to, but
No.
you know what I'm saying?
No.
But you could do it with another woman.
Yeah, I could.
Everybody's fantasy, if you didn't have it already, is that every man wants to have a threesome.
Yeah, I want more.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
I'm just saying, like as far as like the fantasy, when I was like thinking about that stuff, it was like, yeah, it was more than just the two.
Have you ever had a double before?
Huh? Yeah.
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 You might be better than me.
Nah, I'm just saying, but without
that shit's different.
No, it is.
That shit's different. You get a licking in the ass at the same time.
No,
getting.
I'm not doing no.
You
said that before. I'm not
that
letting nobody do that.
No, what I'm saying is you're not lasting. I know I could.
You're not doing that to me.
I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And you feel bad, like.
I ain't gonna feel bad because you ain't doing that to me.
Hey, listen, man.
But nah, I
feel you.
But like I think when you get into that though, I think men. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. Cause women get jealous too. I was gonna say like, cause you asked like, could you do a threesome with another man? And I was like, nah.
It depends. Cause I know a dude that
Nah, heck no.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I met a dude by chance, right? Back in the days, my car had to get towed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while I was waiting for him to hook up my shit, a chick came and was talking to him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, who that? You know what I mean? He was like, oh, that's my wife's friend. So I was like, I ain't think nothing of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So she was black, he was white, right? So he driving me to the gas station to drop my car off and shit. And he goes, she was nice, right? So I was like, yeah. He was like, well, I'm gonna tell you something. Me and my wife like that. And I was like what? He was like, yo, my wife like women, and we found somebody, you know what I mean?
That's willing to...
And that's their life.
Yeah. I've heard of people doing that. I haven't had that conversation with people who do it, but like there's people that are living that.
If you came home, like he told me, he came home and he caught them. So they were sneaking around at first, and he caught them eating each other out.
Yeah. Would you be mad? Would you be mad? Would you feel like that's cheating?
I wouldn't feel it was cheating. I would feel less than a fucking man.
You would feel less than a man if you came home and your wife was doing behind that.
You think that? I think that's.
No, I'm not saying I disagree with you.
No, I would think that's worse than you might as well fuck somebody, man.
You
like,
because
you
you
got
say
this bitch around here. She coming around here every day. You know what I'm saying? You chilling, and then one day I'm able to sneak in the crib because y'all deep in it. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time this bitch been eating your pussy. You don't get the fuck away from me.
Nah. I'm not saying.
Yo, ain't no talking.
I'm not saying.
Like that, man.
I'm not saying I disagree with you, but what I'm saying is this.
That right there make you want to beat a bitch up.
Nah, what I'm saying. I'm not saying I disagree like that. I would feel like. Nah, I feel what you're saying, but think about it from this side though, right?
Your ego will be crushed.
No, I think my ego would be crushed too. But what I'm saying is think about it from this side. I'm just saying play the devil's advocate, right? What about? Because I think some people would think of it like I ain't got nothing to worry about because she's doing something for that I can't offer her.
You right. That other bitch is coming in there with a hard plastic dick that ain't gonna never nut.
No, what if it was like you think it'd be worse if it was like an emotional connection?
I don't give a fuck.
I'm asking you.
I wouldn't. Obviously, it is an emotional. If you fucking got this bitch around.
But it's not always emotional.
I don't give a fuck what it is. I ain't got time to think about it. You fucking violated.
Like I'm saying, I don't disagree with you. I'm just asking, like, playing devil's advocate, playing another side of the fence. Like, yo, what if it's emotional connection, right?
Let me tell you something. I look at it like this. Point plain and simple.
It's cheating regardless.
Men can't take. We could do dirt, but can't take it when it's dirt dished on us.
I think that goes both ways.
Nah. A chick is more forgiving.
Oh, no, I got what you're saying. Yeah, no.
If you caught, if a chick could, your wife could catch you with a chick tomorrow, downstroking. She gonna be mad probably for a couple of months, but sooner or later, you talking to her, you apologize. A woman has, you got a better chance of a woman taking you back than a man, unless that motherfucker ain't got no backbone. Cause the dude come in and catch you fucking another dude, and you gripping his ass the way you grip my ass, and you moaning and shit. A nigga ego fucked up. He gonna want to kill him. He gonna want to kill you.
Nah.
And it ain't no talking.
But
ain't no sorry for that.
I agree with you on that. Like, but I think on a woman's side, that'd be the same way too. And I think they're probably playing it out.
No, a woman is liable to take you back because her thing would be a woman's thing.
I'd be scared.
Is more so what she got that I don't have. Right?
I'd be scared.
Where the dude is looking at it like, yo.
I would feel like she's taking me back to like kill me in my sleep.
Nah, I wouldn't give a fuck. You took me back. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. But,
I was always worried about that. I'm not saying I would.
But a dude, every time you fucking your wife or your girl,
you
gonna
be
like, yo, this nigga was. You gonna be trying to
wondering like if it's
You never know.
No, yeah.
She can tell you all the shit in the world, like, and then you fuck around be at
that's a fact, because I don't even want to know.
Park, you know what I'm saying? And I've been in a situation before where a chick be with a girl, you be like, hey, what's up?
Oh, no. And the girl knows?
And you caught this nigga with your girl, and they talking?
Yeah.
You still talking to this nigga? You gonna catch a charge in Great Adventure, right there by the stuffed animals, cause you gonna stomp her out.
Nah, I can agree with that, cause I know, like, even with my wife, I don't even want to know nothing about what she was doing before me. For real. I'm dead ass.
Yeah, that should be real,
I'm
man.
dead ass. I'll be like,
yo.
I'd be like, yo, yeah, like, I used to date her. I don't care if you used to date that dude.
Look, let me tell you something. It's dudes that I know that hate dudes to this day, cause they know that they girl back in the day was fucking with, right?
That'd be the thing about, like, when, that's the part that's, can suck sometimes, like, if you grow up somewhere and you still there as an adult, because it's inevitable. And like your partner is someone who grew up in that same area as an adult.
That's why I never had a girl from the same area.
Yeah, like that.
Because everybody, that shit is so crazy.
Yeah, that's hard.
Like you go in a bar, you sitting down chilling, and
I'm glad we never knew each other.
No, these dudes are here.
No, I'm talking about me and my wife. Like, I'm saying, like, if first of all, I told her, like, if we grew up around each other, you probably wouldn't like me.
Nah, that ain't true. Cause you know why? A lot of chicks be infatuated by that kind of shit. You ever notice that you be single and no chick want to talk to you?
Yeah, nah.
Then once you
girl,
get a girl, everybody want to talk to you. You be like, damn, I was trying to get this pussy for about 6 months. And
6 months.
You know what I mean? Yeah, cause you was single.
6 years.
Oh,
nah. When you were in high school, there was definitely joints in high school where it's like, yo, from 9th grade, 10th grade, like, yo, I've been trying to crack this for freshman, sophomore. You finally get that joint junior year, you be like, I got that shit. I knew I was gonna get that shit when I see you in 9th grade. I got you at the prime.
Yeah, you know what would be the best?
What?
When you chick thinks she too good for you in high school, and then when you out of school.
When y'all older and she trash?
Nah. Then you smash it out of school, you know what I'm saying? And she like, so what else?
Nothing. Yeah.
You could have been something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But your
I be thinking it's crazy where, like, you got the chick that was bad in high school that was, like, crazy stuck up, and then they get older and be trash, be slayed. It's like,
see, I don't look at them like that because I wasn't bad in high school either.
No, me neither. I was like, as far as I would probably be what you consider a late bloomer. Like, from a standpoint of, not saying that chicks didn't think I was attractive, but I wasn't, like, in shape like that. I wasn't in shape like that in high school. Like, I was more so husky.
See, I ain't talking about that.
I'm talking about that.
I was in a cool crowd, but it wasn't like I wasn't you had them dudes that just had that shit with. Like, I was cool because I could crack jokes and make chicks laugh and shit like that.
Yeah, like, that was, like, I was definitely in a cool group. I was not the guy. I was not your top dresser.
Right.
I was funny. I was always gonna be loud and things like that. I was somebody that if you wanted to have fun and have a good time, like, you would have me around. So I used to play with chicks off of that. You know what I'm saying? But, like, what I mean by, like, my physical presentation, like, I think I look better as a grown man than I did growing up. Now, you got some people that look better coming through high school than they do when they get...
A lot of chicks that was bad in high school.
I've seen some chicks that keep it, though, or get
that's
better.
That's a fact.
Yeah. But, like, it just be, like, it'd be crazy when you see... Because not all of the chicks that was, like, thought they shit didn't got trashed. Some of them kept it up. You know what I'm saying? And they get older and they get more mature and they start, you know what I'm saying, from what I see anyway. They look like they carrying themselves a little bit different. But there are some that was like, they shit don't stink and they trash, man.
But see, a lot of them that think they shit don't stink, they don't think that now. Because somebody done trashed their ass.
Yeah.
And they're humble early. Like, damn, I shouldn't act like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah. But yeah, that was a crazy question. I was like, yo, But I know, like, for most men will answer the way that we answered. I think most women will answer the opposite way, but I think they answer in that way via emotion and thinking they're answering the question with a second question in mind, and not
See,
just.
I think it depends on the woman, because don't get it twisted. You got women out here that's just like men.
Yeah, but their answer, what I was saying is, what I was getting ready to say is, they're answering it from like just straight up like, okay, what do we design? Like what the question is asking. I think women that answer the question and say say yes, are answering it from the standpoint of, do I think cheating is okay? That's not what the question is asking.
I don't think that they answering it from that. I think they answering it from a perspective like, yeah, I would be okay with being in a situation where it's not monogamous.
No, I'm saying the woman that says we were designed to be monogamous. I think they're answering from an emotional
like
standpoint.
A man that carries herself like a man. I don't mean like butcher.
No, I know what
like
you're talking about.
They answering that for real. Like, yeah, I'm designed to do.
Right, but what I'm saying is the opposite of that. I think that the opposite answer is those women are answering it with the second question in mind. They're not answering just exclusively that question. And I think that's why they say, yes, we are designed to be monogamous, is my point. Another question from this joint. I thought this was a dope question too. What's a hobby you had as a kid that you don't do any longer? These are good questions, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What's the hobby as a kid?
Something that you used to do as a hobby as a kid that you don't do as an adult.
I guess play sports.
Okay. That's probably be common in a lot of people though.
Yeah, because, well, unless you talk about.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really consider that, because if you don't go pro, nobody is playing.
That ain't true.
I mean, you talking about like.
Even you said that, like, you keep saying like people pushing pro. Every kid don't get pushed to go pro.
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm speaking from my experience. When I played sports as a kid, I was the conversation around sports was mostly about going pro.
Because if you think about it, people could see if the focus is there, who can go to the next level.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, so for me, sports was about that.
Yeah, but you lost focus on.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like when we talk about in our community when like we talk about sports, it's looked at as a way out, right? So way out being free education and possibly supporting your family as a career.
Right, that ain't got nothing to do with going pro.
Supporting your family as a career, yes it
Oh,
does.
that part.
That's what I'm saying.
But you talking about getting to school for free. I think that's what most people is looking at.
That's not what that's not what the majority of the conversation was, and that was like across the board with most of the people I knew and all of that. So like it'd be like in areas like I talked about earlier where high demand, low supply, where it'd be like, yo, you wanna go to the league, basketball, football, baseball, right?
But 9 times out of 10, people don't be wrong when they tell a kid that.
Yeah, I hear you, but what I'm saying is that also, like, that's another conversation where it's like the strain, the mental strain, and things that it does, like if saying those types of things to a young kid, because some kids, and like I'll say myself for example, I can speak from experience. I definitely wasn't like able to handle that. Clearly, like you said, I lost focus on all of that. But like I love the sports that I played.
You know why I think you
What?
lost focus? Because I don't really think that you believe.
I didn't.
Because like everything I see you do with CJ, you ain't like that.
Huh?
Everything I see you do with him, you didn't like that.
No.
And it was a difference because you played with people. I'll never forget telling somebody about Ray in Mount Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me, and I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to blow him up, but you got high respect for this person.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me straight up and down, hell no. He's not the best dude. And I was like, yo, one thing about the dude is, without anybody telling him, he has dedication,
mm-hmm.
and he has the ability. But that kid right there going pro,
mm-hmm.
right? And then when it started looking like he was going to college for free, the dude jumped on his team and forgot that we ever had the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Ray went pro, the dude was like, once that ride wasn't
mm-hmm.
gonna be free no more. Yeah, I remember you said that. Like you could see that, and that's where you look at dudes and you could tell, like even the basketball players that come out of there, it's dudes was riding, and I would tell them, yo, no, he ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you could see, like you had the ability to get there,
mm-hmm.
but the dedication to the things that you are dedicated to now,
mm-hmm.
you didn't want to do that.
Nah, and that's why I say it's like my just.
But that wasn't no, yo, everybody can get there and things and pushed on kids, because some kids you gotta tell them like, yo, you're not going there.
I think
you living because you are better than these kids right here.
Nah, I think from my experience, it was like where we grew up, the talent that was around. If you were starting, like, and you were somebody that was balling like that was the conversation. And maybe it's just because of the circles that I was in, that's where it felt like the pressure was. But like with the stuff that I do with CJ, is not the same. Like it's not the same situation as the things that I had to do, but the focus behind it is not even driven behind sports. So like for me,
no, I'm not saying it was. I'm saying the workout part of it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Not.
No. I'm talking about workout part with CJ.
No, what I'm saying is not what you had to do. That was the only thing that I felt kept you from going somewhere. Because if you would have got that discipline,
yeah,
you would have came down here, and it wouldn't have been no 9th grade, 10th grade. It would have been, yo, word to mother, I'm coming down here where it might be better. It might be more of a better opportunity for me.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like with CJ, it's not about like the working out part. Like whether this goes for any of my kids. Like Gigi too. Anybody that lives in my house, they're going to have to be physically active. So like when I make CJ work out, I know he don't like working out, right? He don't like doing it. I'll say he don't like doing it all the time, because there are times that he has to do it, but he don't want to do it every day, right? So it's just like, okay, well, we don't do it every day, but some days that I tell him to do it, he's like, I don't want to sit down. No, we're going out in the garage to work out. The reason I make my kids work out is because I think it's important to take care of your body, right? And I feel like from a standpoint of mental toughness, learning how to deal with adversity and things like that, yes, sports teach you that, but I think also doing things that are hard teach you that. So that's why I make my kids work out.
But that's what you making a point for.
No, but what I'm saying is, that wasn't how I was told that I was.
No. I'm saying if you.
That's not what I'm talking about right now, though, because you said the things.
I said that's why I think you lost focus.
No. You started it. You said the things that you make CJ do, you didn't like doing.
You took it wrong as far as what I meant by it. What I'm saying is the workout part of it. You had the athletic ability to go further than what you did.
Right.
The workout was what you didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I meant by that.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, with him, it has nothing to do with
what
sports.
I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. You make him work out. Ain't got nothing to do with sports.
Right.
Yours was strictly on sports. So if somebody's telling you that, yo, you have that shit in you, because they looking at people that they saying, yo, that kid he has the ability to get there, and you right there with him.
Mhm.
Cause I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't seen you play with nobody in no sport that since you came down here. Well, you ain't played baseball down here. So,
Yeah, I did.
well, you quit. What I mean is play it like you played it up there. And to see them kids go where they went with it, and you were able to compete with them, and them kids was working out just like you was being made to work out, but one of them, which was Ray, he didn't have to be told that. The others had to be told that, but then they stuck with it. Like, yo, guess what? It's like you said, the mental aspect of it and all of that, it became a part of their everyday life, and that's how they got where they were. And that's why I said, I don't think that if you would have took it and looked at it like and said, yo, okay, yeah, I love playing the sport. This is what I can be. This is what I can do. Then I think that if you wouldn't look at it the way you look at it, like it was being pushed on you.
Yeah, nah, I agree with you as far as like me saying like you saying like you don't think I believed it. I don't think I did either. That's why like now like I'm huge on like mindset and stuff like that, because I think you are what you think you are, or you tell yourself you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see that in myself, and you know what I mean. It wasn't meant for me to be. You know what I'm saying? Evidently, otherwise it would have clicked earlier. You know what I'm saying? But and that's stuff that I tell my son. It's like even him being at 6 years old, because like kids say things like they want to do this and that. So like when he says things like I want to do that, I want to be the best at this, I want to be the best at that. Like so I tell him, I'm like, look, well if you want to be the best at that, you got to do this, right? You want to get the highest grade on the test, or when you guys have to do your numbers in school, you want to be able to count to 100, you got to practice your numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't just gonna roll out of bed and count to 100, you know what I mean, things like that, like without practicing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or learn like words in Spanish if you don't practice that stuff. And then you take it to working out. Like you want to be the fastest kid. All right, fine. Well, if you want to be the fastest kid, you got to run fast, right? So you got to practice running fast. So if you don't practice running fast, you're never gonna get faster. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I mean, like CJ is way more athletic than I was. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like as far as like speed, I was never a fast kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got that, you had that, Daddy had that, CJ got that. I never had that. Like I had to work for speed.
Yeah,
and
speed is something that can't be taught.
Right, but I did work and get faster though. So like when I do with stuff with him. Because, like, when I went to college, I had to completely transform my body to do if I wanted to play. Because I played linebacker at high school, and then went to college and I had to play corner initially.
Right.
So I had to rework all of that. So, like, that stuff that I, like, try to instill in him, not from a sports aspect, it's just like, yo, like, when you get into the real world where it's like, yo, not even saying you playing sports. If you go to high school, go to middle school, you don't play no sports. School's hard, right? So if you don't know what it is to experience adversity and overcome that adversity, I feel like you don't have confidence that you would come through it, right? Going back to my situation, it's like I really didn't have the confidence that I could overcome whatever those obstacles were to be what people were saying that, yo, you could be. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of like the confidence that you get in other things, right? I didn't have that confidence and I didn't believe in it, so it was like, all right, what I'm working out for, it ain't gonna work. Amount to nothing. I'm enduring this pain that I don't want to do, you know what I'm saying, for no reason, right? That was kind of like my justification. And like with CJ, what I do is, like, while he's going through that, I'm also going through that with him.
So, nah, but what I'm saying is, you changing the narrative, but it's, number one, working out in school ain't got nothing to do with each other.
They do, but they don't.
I'm telling you they don't.
I think they do.
In what way?
In the way of I think the way that school, I think working out it connects to everything from the mental strength aspect. So in the discipline aspect of it, right? Not many people enjoy studying, right? Not many people enjoy going in a classroom and having to sit there and listen to a professor or a teacher lecture them on material and then having to go home, study that material, and then come and take a test. Like, that's not enjoyable for most people. Some people do enjoy that, right? go take it to working out. Not many people, there are some people that do, but not many people. Everybody that's healthy does not enjoy going into the gym and enduring pain to preserve their body or to make their body more prepared to live a longer life, right? Or eat things that they should eat, or like anything like that. Like it's just painful. It's hardship. That's where I think they're connected. They both teach you how to, in some situations, do things that you don't want to do. Like they talk about, like leg day is a big thing. Like dudes will go to the gym and do upper body all day long, but not many people want to do legs. Like when you see people get older, everybody want to find an excuse of why you shouldn't squat, right? But if you look at it, squatting is going to be the most beneficial thing that you can do. It's the one thing that you do all day long, every day of your life. If you got to shit, you got to squat. You sit down in the chair, you got to squat. You got to sit down in that chair and stand back up. If you lose that functionality over your life, the longer you live, the less functional you become, right? So it's like they all are connected, in my opinion. I think they all are connected from a mental aspect. Not like the actual action of working out and doing school, but the mental focus that it takes, that you can take from working out. Like, all right, every day I'm going to get up at this time to go work out. Or every day after school I'm going to come and do this. When I come home, when I come home from school, I got to study. I think that's the same.
Well, I disagree. Because, and I look at it like this. You can work out all you want. And you can begin to enjoy that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to school is going to directly affect how your life can be in America.
I think working out does too.
As far as what?
Go ahead, explain how you, and I'll tell you.
Because that, going to school and getting the most out of whatever you being taught, whether you like it or not, can affect your career path and things of that nature, and you can make decisions on as far as your career and the money that you're going to make to be able to support yourself and eventually your family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, working out ain't affecting that.
I think it does.
How?
So I think the way that you're explaining that is like you're comparing, like saying like if somebody was like I'm gonna work out versus go to school.
No,
I'm not saying that.
I ain't
So
saying that.
what I'm saying is how working out does affect that is they actually did a study. I can't remember the name of the study. I can actually look it up. If I can't find it right now, I'll definitely get it next week. But they did a study based on how someone's physical appearance affects how employers view their ability to be successful in the workplace. And they compared like someone who looks like they're in shape in an interview versus someone who looks like they're out of shape, and what that tells the employer about that person, right? They also did that when it comes to like dating, right? So like a woman or a man looking at somebody who's single that doesn't take care of their body versus somebody who looks like they're in shape, what that tells them without having a conversation about that person, right? So I say that to say, like, in society, because you're talking about the world, I mean, like their job, you have to get somebody to give you the job. In an interview, if you have somebody who's in shape versus somebody who's out of shape, all things being equal, the person who's in shape is more likely to get the job, because the employer will look at them and be
I
like,
totally disagree.
That's what the study said.
I want to know who did that study, because I'm going to tell you like this.
What do you think?
I'm about to tell you, because my job is a physical job, right? You come to the job, and they can look at you and be like, yo, that dude is in shape, this, that, and the third, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I'm not saying you per se, because this has happened.
Uh-huh.
The funny thing about taking that fire department test, 9 times out of 10, the dudes that look like you ain't up in that top 50. So what you saying is, it would be more firemen that look like you than look like somebody that don't work out at all.
I would think over the entire population of firefighters. Yeah, more people. You talking about your one?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I would bet that more firefighters.
Hold on, I've been to national tournaments.
I hear you.
And guess what? I'm speaking from experience.
I would
you look at dudes.
You saying some dudes? I'm talking about most firemen.
What I'm telling you is, guess what? At the end of the day, if I'm looking at you, I would say you wouldn't say that heart attack would be the #1 killer of a fire. Because you eating right, you working out.
But that's not the reason heart attack is the #1 killer of firemen is because of the stress of like you're in a dead sleep and you got loud ass alarms going off. That contributes to that.
So guess what? If you working out your body, you taking care of your body better than somebody that ain't.
But they not dealing with that.
I'm talking about the motherfucker that, if I'm giving you that job, I want the one that looks the most in shape, correct?
But look in shape is two different things though.
Hold on. You just said here.
I told you, I did.
You said what the study said.
Right, I'm saying. Right, but that's. But you, I get you.
What you said.
No, but listen to you. But what I'm saying, I'm correcting you on is you're taking. That is what the study says. But you're being overly what's the word? Literal of what I'm saying. Yes, you can have people, because you can have people who look in shape but are not actually in shape. That's also where, like bulimia, like those people look like they're in shape too, but they're really not. They're really unhealthy. So you do have people who look in shape but are not.
You got people, like you said, I'm just speaking, I'm not taking nothing overly literal. I'm saying more times than not, when you go into a job, if it ain't a physical job, they looking at who, #1, you talking about education.
I said all things equal.
Okay.
I said all things equal, and then just
then
go
guess
to
what?
appearance.
If 9 times out of 10, everything ain't gonna be all.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the scenario I gave you.
But I don't think working out contributes to how smart you are.
Working out does though. Like if all things being equal, when you have a healthy body and you do work out, that increases your brain function.
Okay, but you could be a dumb jock. That's where you get that from.
You can be a dumb jock, but you can. What I'm saying is, basically what I'm saying is, working out.
And most people, and you can look this up too. Most people look at people that work out as idiots.
I don't agree with that.
Because you can look it up. I don't agree with it.
No. I'm saying I don't think that's the true thing. Because I would think if that's the case, then I don't understand why most people that don't work out be like, I want to work out. But they just can't.
Because most people would be like, yo, I want to work out because they might have underlying issues and things of that nature. And like you said, working out more times than not is only for women. Most men do what they do on some women are attracted to that. If you tell a dude, yo, if I work out, I'm going to get a job before you because they're going to look at you. Tell somebody in real life that study, they're going to want to know who did that study because that shit don't make no sense.
I'm just telling you from a what it said was like.
And I'm telling you from working around dudes.
No, but you're talking about other variables.
Hold on. I'm talking about a job that you would think more people in that job would look like you.
I think they do.
No, they don't.
You're talking about,
because when you go to national tournaments or national training, and you're in a room with departments from all over this country.
I'm not saying they gotta look like me.
Listen to what I'm saying. There are more people that look worse than me.
Okay.
And when you work the job and you see what you need to look up what most firemen do. And why they contribute heart attacks and things of that nature to them.
I just think it was. I just think
a fireman.
You could be right.
Most firemen are the most unhealthy people in the world.
Right. What I'm saying is, I doubt that most of them look like they don't work out, especially when your firehouses have fitness. Like most of them have.
Yeah, they have the fitness equipment in it. You know what I mean? They do have that. But it ain't being used.
when I stayed in the house with you,
you know how many?
But I'm saying, I'm just speaking on the people that I saw. Most people that I saw looked in shape.
They might look in shape, but guess what?
That's what you just said. That it
No,
wouldn't be.
but hold on. What I'm telling you is, over time, they might have started working out because they had underlying issues. But I'm telling you right now, that was one house. Like you just said, I'm talking about one department. I'm not talking about one department. I'm talking about me and you could go in September if they open it up to a national softball tournament that teams from all over the country is here and they all flying in because you got to show your national fire department ID. Mm-hmm. National. You get your department ID, then you get your IFA national certificate where it shows you in the national union in order for you to even be considered in that tournament. And you will walk around there and be like this, God damn, these dudes are firemen? Smoking, and look it up, who got the worst diet in America? Firemen. They tell you, you might come in looking like you, your first year, you're going to fuck around and revert back to what you look like as a kid.
Yeah, man, and I think what contributes to that is the hours and, like, the things that you guys have to do. Like, if you work a 24-hour shift.
No, everybody don't know. When I got on, it wasn't a 24-hour shift. It was 10s and 14s. Mm-hmm. If you don't bring your own breakfast, you eating breakfast with the fellas, you definitely eating lunch with the fellas, you definitely eating dinner with the fellas. Them meals ain't healthy at all.
Yeah. I just like, because I think we kind of swayed, and maybe I swayed it, but my main point is, I think with me when I was coming up, I felt like working out was as a means of sport, whereas I'm teaching CJ and we'll teach Gigi working out as a means of life, right? That's what I believe in. I believe that working out is a necessity
then you
for
can
life.
say that.
Is a necessity for life. Like, if not anything, like, yeah, it enhances if you play sports, yeah, but regardless of you playing sports or not, I feel like you should work out for the betterment of your life, for your longevity. I think it also increases your opportunities and your potential to be successful. I think if you did a study on folks who don't work out and don't take care of their bodies versus people who do work out and take care of their bodies, I think over the course of that study, you would find that people who work out and take care of their body are more successful because of the
I think that you equating working out and not working out to pretty much self-esteem.
No, I'm not. That's entirely different.
But that's what happens when people work out.
Huh? Yeah, but I feel like that's a different discussion though. That's another byproduct of working out. You gain self-esteem, but I'm talking about just the natural, like, endorphin effect that you get from working out.
I know people that work out. I know people that don't work out that will outwork a majority of the people you know.
Right, but it depends on what you're talking about too. But you have your anomalies. I'm not saying that all people that are out of shape are not hard workers. That's not what I'm saying. I said over the course there would be more people who are in shape, because I know some in shape people who are lazy besides just working out. You're going to find out in anything you do. It's never going to be absolute.
That's why I said with that study, I don't believe it.
Right, I said all studies are talking about a higher percentage here, or a lower percentage here.
Pretty much the study, what I look at in the study is where they're going to achieve what they want for that study.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because if I'm going somewhere and I want the study to skew you one way, this is where I'm going to get that study and to achieve my goal for that study. Because I believe that if we go to school, just because you work out and I work out and we both got A's and B's, it ain't coming down to, okay, he look like he got muscles and he don't. And so I think.
But that was just like, that's me just talking about the study. What I originally said is that the benefit of working out, why I feel that it translates to everything else in life, is because you're teaching yourself how to deal with, how to do difficult situations. You're putting yourself under stress, and you're overcoming that stress. So when you encounter a hardship in life, it's not like the first time or you don't know how to deal with hardship, even if it's a hardship in a different arena.
I disagree with that because a hardship to you, you know what I'm saying, and I can say this from experience.
Mm-hmm.
I know people that can't deal with certain hardships.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying, you saying it'll help you by working out.
It does.
Yo, a lot of people that work out can't deal with a lot of hardships, man.
Even if they can't deal with them, I think they would be worse off if they didn't work out. I know personally.
See, I think all of that depends on you as a person.
But it's always gonna be that way. Like,
yeah, but if that's the case, you could say like a person that drives a older car opposed to a person that drives a newer car. The person in a newer car, he gonna think like, yo, this right here, yeah, it's a chick magnet, it's this, that, and the third.
I just think if the way
you don't know what the person, because you looking at the person in the flashy car, like the more people with flashy cars got more women and this, that, and the third, but all they doing is showing off.
Nah, I don't think that's a good analogy because the person. I don't think that's
working out to most dudes. Like you go in the gym. When you go in the gym, you see dudes. You see a dude.
But you're just talking about dudes.
No, I'm saying women too. Some women work out, and for the most part, what I get from people that work out is this: they go and they work out, and they look down on the person that don't work out because that person, you don't know why that person is doing what they do. They could probably care less about it. But when you go in the gym,
I think there is a lot of that. That's not good though.
What?
A lot of like people who work out like downplaying
people look at people until.
But I think that happens in anything.
Listen, man, I've seen it.
That's not good. And that like what I think with that type of stuff, that is your people that had. I think those are the more sort of people that had self-esteem issues. And then working out boosted their self-esteem, so now they're looking down on other people.
Right.
That does happen, but I think that happens in every community.
But that happens. I ain't talking about community. I'm talking about
community is anything where there's commonality.
Well, guess what? I think more people that work out, and they work out to the point that they take that attitude like, yo, I'm gonna get the job, or I'm this, that, and the third. Like you look at the dude that work out every day. He walk around with his chest poked out, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. I'm this, that, and the third, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, where I was at, you had a dude every day. He worked out every day. The shit was funny as hell, right? Big dude. Weighed about like 270 or some shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He in there lifting the weights, yelling and all kind of shit. Then he gets on some shit with some little boys. Kids was like 18. You know what I mean? Yo, you gotta work that bit. Practically saying the same shit you was saying, right? Mm-hmm. So this day, me and another dude going in the gym. Yo, I can show you. So I was like, paying him no mind. You know what I'm saying? But then when it's turn, yo, all right, let's lift the weight then. Fuck it. Yo, I didn't know you was that strong. Just because you work out don't mean you stronger than this motherfucker over here that you think ain't working out. Yeah, because some motherfuckers don't have to work out and they strong as shit.
Right, like strong, but that's what I'm saying. Like you change the narrative. I'm not talking about how strong you are. I'm not talking because none of like somebody you said somebody can be strong and they not be healthy. I'm not talking about.
What I'm saying, I use that because most people that I know that work out all the time and they transform their body or whatever, they did it for a reason because lack of self-esteem, and now they feel, yo, I'm better than him, or I'm doing this because, you know what I'm saying, yo, I can get more chicks, yo, my shirt, this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? But none of that shit don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
It don't mean nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that narrative,
and a lot of people that work out pretty much die faster than the motherfucker that's out here drinking, drugging, smoking every fucking day. Huh?
I don't agree with that. I mean,
look up the statistics.
Yeah, you can.
Because guess what?
But you talking about? I think if you're talking about them that's passing like earlier, they taking things. But what I will say is, I do know that there's people that exist on that end of, like, they had low self-esteem and they gained self-esteem through working out. I think that's a beautiful thing, but when people take it like they weren't on the opposite end of that and then start flipping on people that are not. But what I think is what we should do, as somebody who's passionate about fitness, like I don't do that. And like I said, I have my methodology that I believe in as far as like what I working out, how I like to work out, but that's not how everybody works out. And I don't expect everybody to do what I do, nor do I push that on people. But yeah, I have my way of working out. If you prefer like a bodybuilding style workout, that's perfect. I just promote people to be active, whatever you do, right? Even if
you just changed the whole topic. I forgot what we was talking about.
No, we got into me talking about we were talking about.
You used it as an example when we turned in.
Yeah, because I was just following where you
No, I was just saying I had used CJ. Oh, we was talking about.
Yeah, like sports. You brought
going pro.
Yeah, and you said
pushed on people.
You said what I make CJ do, and that's
but I said you took it wrong because.
But no, I needed to address it because the words you used made it sound like
you took it that way. I don't know why you be taking shit the wrong way.
Because the words you used.
What I said was I'm using him as an example. I should have used somebody else.
Yeah, because the word you used was wrong.
No, it's not. Because what I'm saying to you is, you taking it on some other shit like you making them do it. I ain't say that.
But that's what I said.
No, I said the things you have him do.
That's making him do it, right?
The things you make him do. Put it that way.
So right, that's
not saying there's something wrong with it. I said, if you would have did that, and then I said, okay, cool, because you started changing it like, yo, guess what? If you would have did, like you said, that's the way you look at it, that you teaching him, then it could be a chance that you could have went further, but you didn't believe in yourself.
I agree with you on that.
So it ain't the narrative that the hood, people that grow up in the hood is just pushing pro on young kids. They're not doing that.
That's what I saw. That's my perspective. That's what I saw.
But at the end of the day, because like I said, you got to look at where the people you was with and competing with,
I said that.
Where they went.
I said that.
So if you on a level of them and people are seeing that in them, of course somebody gonna say, yo, you can get there too.
I think people would agree that in the black community, when sports are talked about, they're not really, for the most part, they're not talked about in a recreational sense. They're talked about in the means of getting out. I think that's why
if you on that level of being able to get out.
If you watching this video and you get to this point in this video, please comment on this. Because I don't think I'm crazy in this. And I'm not the first person to say this.
Yeah, but you looking at, you painting a narrative that every little kid that go out there and play baseball, basketball, football, or whatever, people are pushing, you could go pro, and that's not true.
I'm not saying every little kid. I said in our community, when we talk about sports, it's more so talked about in a sense of as a means of supporting your family. That's what I'm saying.
But we know that in our community, if you not going to school and you playing sports and you on the level of you are just as good as the next person that somebody think is going there, or somebody that got there, and you following in there, and you go into the same program that they went to, like say a Ben Gordon that come from a school that sent a lot of pros to the league.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about a high school.
No, what I'm saying is coming up. Nobody is telling everybody that, yo, you playing sports, you got a chance to go to the league.
I'm not saying this happens 100% of the time.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying 50%.
I think most of the time.
No, you saying that. That's what I'm saying. I disagree because every kid ain't out there and people are telling them, yo, you got a chance to go to the league.
Right, and then once again, you saying every kid. I'm not saying every kid. I said most.
I
said most of the times that
so let me ask you a question. Are the kids that played with you, how many kids do you think were told they could go to the league?
Most of them.
So out of 10, you say about 7?
Yeah.
I totally disagree.
Yeah.
I totally disagree.
I think at the lowest, I'll say 60% of the kids.
I totally disagree.
Yeah, I'm saying we got different perspectives.
Because it was only in each sport that you played, it was only about 2 or maybe 3 that people saw that in them.
I hear you.
And those people happen to get there.
I hear you. Like I said,
that's facts.
That is facts as far as who got there. From my perspective and my viewpoint as a kid growing up with them kids, and the conversations that we had about conversations that was had, most kids.
You and those kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so guess what? If
I'm not talking about them saying I want to go.
No. If a kid is hearing, you got to look at it from this standpoint. If a kid is hearing, right now, if somebody say, yo, you could be a millionaire or this, that, and the third, and you sitting there having a conversation with somebody that overhears it, but they know they in direct competition with you, why wouldn't they say that they was told that too?
Kids don't think like that though.
Oh, shoot.
They don't.
Okay.
Kids,
okay.
They don't.
I'm going to say okay.
At 8 or 9 years old, kids not thinking like that.
I'm going to say okay.
I hear you.
Competition level starts very early.
I'm not talking about competition level is not there.
That's competition.
It is, but what I'm saying to you is that a kid that's 8 or 9, I'll say in most cases, I don't think they're lying about that type of stuff.
So why would you think a kid at 8 or 9 want to go out there, and if they get taken out the game, they upset because such and such stayed in the game? Or why would they have a conversation? Yo, he took me out the game, but he fucked up and he didn't do nothing. It's conversation because they competing and they don't want to feel other than.
Well, maybe I do have a few.
Yeah, they don't want to look at it as being less.
Maybe I do have a few viewpoints.
You can look at it from your standpoint. When you went to New Road, straight up and down, what was the first thing that was said to you when you kept saying, yo, you took me there and yo, they flipped on me? Because nobody want to feel less than. It had nothing to do with you going to New Road as far as you being an athlete or a player. That was straight up and down to get him to believe he was better than you when he knew he wasn't better than you. So why wouldn't I have a conversation? And if I could have a conversation with somebody that I believe that, yo, he gonna believe what I say, and he gonna listen to everything I say in a literal sense, I'm gonna have that conversation. That hopefully that'll get me the edge. And this is what I'm telling Maya about playing with her. Like, yo, more kids than not. You can believe what you want to believe. I've been coaching this for years, and I know how kids do. When they feel less than, and they feel like they not getting the praise that you get, they will throw some bullshit in the game real quick and have you feeling, oh, you know what, yeah, well, this is what it is. Everybody getting told this. Yeah. That's facts. That's facts.
I guess. I mean, I won't say, because I think I said that I don't think a kid will lie. Yeah, kids will.
Yeah,
lie about that. What I will say is, I don't believe. What I do believe is what I said.
The kids that were being told
and I'll just keep it at that.
The kids that were being told that, like you spoke about it, was the kids that was getting money and all that. Now you telling me that most of the kids that
I'm not saying most of the kids.
Then that should tell you when.
But that's not the only. In my opinion, in my viewpoint, those are not the only kids that were sold the dream of like you can go pro.
Well, you can believe what you want to believe. Me being older, I know the people that they was talking to, and I sit back and watch. I go to basketball games.
Because parents are competitive too.
So your moms were telling you was going pro?
No, but I was told I could go pro. That's my viewpoint.
No,
yes.
That you could go.
No.
Anybody could do what they wanted to.
No, I'm saying, but what I'm telling you is, like I said, my personal experience. Like I said, working out was a means of athletics. It wasn't a means of you working out for life expectancy. Working out was as a means of you playing sports, right? That's what I'm saying. And then, like, playing sports, it was not for the majority of the time. Yes, I did hear about college and things like that, but the majority of playing sports was about, like, yo, you can go pro. That it was the conversation was around pro. It wasn't about, like, it was very little of like the college standpoint of free education. I'm not saying that never was said, because it was said, but more so than free education and all of that was pro.
Well, all you could do is look at it this way, and you said it. you didn't believe in yourself. Because everybody that did make it, you damn sure competed with them.
Yeah, I know.
So if somebody's telling you that, that means what you should be looking at right now is like pretty much, and I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but you should take your experience of doubting yourself. When somebody sees something in a kid, he's going to tell that kid what he's seeing in him, and he hopes that that kid sees it in himself.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it becomes like a Lenny Cook situation where, like, he told his story. So if he'd have thought like you, he'd be saying the same thing. Yo, it was push. But he never played.
But that's not what I'm saying, though.
You said the majority of the kids were being told they could go pro.
Right.
Lenny Cook said straight up and down, his man was better than him. He never wanted to play basketball. He got on the court in a pickup game, and a dude told him, yo, you got a chance to go pro. They ain't tell his man that.
Right. But you taking what I'm saying as because let me be clear, I'm not like condemning anything or like complaining about anything. I'm just speaking of facts.
No,
like that in my situation, that's what it was.
Yeah, but you not everybody. And the conversation.
My viewpoint is like
because you said you was listening to another kid that he's hearing people and hearing the praises being heaped on a couple of people, and now he feels less than. So he's telling, yo.
Yeah, that's the scenario you said.
This is facts.
I hear you.
And I know kids that have told me straight up and down things they would say and why they would do certain things.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not the only person that has said this. This is
Yeah, I know most people say that.
But it's not even most people that say it. It's people who come from that. And they're saying that in our community that is the case. I subscribe to that.
In our community, it's looked at, you sell drugs like Cam's joint, sports, drugs, and entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But this is my point. But everybody ain't being told go play sports.
So, alright.
Look at the CD.
I know, sports, drugs, and entertainment. Okay, so look.
But guess what? If dudes is telling a certain few,
which families telling their kid to sell drugs, right? So if nobody's telling their kid to go sell drugs, right? So that makes it 50-50. What I'm saying is most families.
Say that again.
So you gave 3 examples, right?
Yeah.
Sports, drugs, entertainment.
Yeah.
I said so. That's 3 things. No family is telling their kid to sell drugs.
This right here, because you're wrong.
Huh?
You are wrong.
Most families is telling their kids to sell drugs.
You are wrong.
Okay. I don't agree with that.
Son, you talking about where we come from?
Yeah.
Then guess what? You are so lost that you have no clue. You know how many kids was coming down there with y'all with drugs on them?
I understand that, but what I'm telling you is you talking about things that they.
It was more
and what I'm saying is I'm not saying kids don't do it.
No,
I'm saying that they're in most cases.
I'm talking about their parents was telling them to take these shits down there. And
I know people do that. What I'm saying, most.
It was more kids being told that than were being told. Yes.
Okay. All right.
This is actual fact.
If that's the case, I stand corrected. I know there was kids that was doing
that.
I was not under the impression that was most kids.
Yo, this is actual fact.
I know where we come from, and I know there was kids that do it.
I'm not talking about kids doing it. I'm talking about
in that situation.
No, I'm talking about where their parent is telling them.
I just said I'm talking about that situation.
This is my point.
That wasn't most kids in my eyes.
What?
That wasn't most. There was some.
Yo, let me tell you something. It's a whole bunch of shit that you don't know about this.
Okay.
That was going on around you.
I know about a lot of that.
Then you would know there was more kids that you was around doing that could care less.
Okay.
And all you gotta do is look at their lives.
Right.
How he turned out.
I understand that. And that's not most of them.
What? Are you serious?
You talking about? I'm talking about specifically drugs and the parents telling us.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
This is actual fact.
Okay.
Then when their little brothers was coming up, the game changed. Yeah. You had a dude going down there, and man, what?
I know about all of that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And this was coming strictly from their parents.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Whoa. No, you don't, because if you knew, you would know it was more kids that were being sold that dream than opposed to the kids that were being told you got a chance to go to the league. There was more kids being told, yo, this shit ain't gonna work for you, man. So you need to get into this.
And,
this is actual fact.
In my opinion, in my viewpoint, that definitely did happen. I would say most parents were selling the other two. And if at worst, that's 50-50 in my opinion. And I think more parents were selling the sports.
All right, so let me ask you a question. The dudes that were told that they was able to go to the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
They continued to play, right?
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Who?
I'm not putting nobody's names out.
No, I'm saying, how many would you say that that you played with didn't go on and play high school?
They played high school, but like when you
so if a majority of them were told what you saying is being sold, why wouldn't the rest of them play?
What do you mean? Why wouldn't the rest of them play?
If most of the kids were told they could go to the league that you played with, why wouldn't most of them play? Why wouldn't
play where?
In high school.
I just said they played high school.
No, they did not.
Okay.
No, they did not. And I'll just take Mount Vernon and New Road as a straight up example. Would you say Mount Vernon competed or beat New Road as kids coming up?
Yeah.
Right? Them games was close. Right? Why do you think New Road in high school dominates Mount Vernon in football in high school? If you talk about what
so let me explain that, right? So the reason why is because New Road High School turned a blind eye to things that Mount Vernon High School didn't.
Not true.
All right.
The kids that compete don't play.
Okay.
And the ones that are being told they could go to the league, they make a choice when they get to high school, like a Jabari that could have played. He didn't play with you. He could have played football in high school. Clee Samuels could have played football in high school. They chose basketball. But a majority of the kids in Mount Vernon, what they were being told young, by the time they got to middle school, that was their full-time job. Fuck a sport.
Well,
so by the time they got to 7th and 8th grade,
so you talking about kids that was younger than me? I'm talking about my.
No, I'm talking about your age.
All right, my age group, all of the best cats that I played with play high school football.
All the kids that were told they could go to the league and had a chance to play. All of the kids that you're talking about, it wasn't the majority of them. Because your age, Darrell and them lost to New Road.
Yeah.
With older cats on their team. Your age group, a lot of them kids were sitting in the stands with me, doing what they was doing. From young, what they were told to do. This is facts. Mount Vernon lost to New Road 6-0. No. 7-6 or some shit. Mount Vernon could have kicked a field goal and won. Half of the kids you played with in Mount Vernon were sitting in the stands with me. Like, yo, if I was out there, and I'm saying to them, why you ain't out there? Because you out there doing the bullshit. Yeah, but why is what I'm supposed to do? This is facts. I'm not talking about what I think or what somebody was telling me as a kid. And I'm a kid. I'm telling you what I watched and how this shit was going down when kids started getting older. When you got in middle school and you ended up coming down here to go to high school and all that crazy shit, them kids had been done playing. This is actual fact. They wasn't playing no more. They was in the street heavy, full time. Some of them dropping out. Some of them didn't even make it to high school.
Right, but what you're saying is kind of changing what we said.
No, when you said, that's what I said. A majority of kids wasn't being told that because they would have kept playing. The ones that were being told that kept playing and ended up going to a secondary school in some form of fashion. But a majority of them kids came from, I don't give a fuck about no sport. This is what you're going to do. That shit ain't making you no money. That ain't making you no money. So now when you get down in the field, you go see this person or this person, and you bring that money back home. This is actual fact.
I'm fully aware of that stuff.
You obviously.
Well, I won't
you're
say.
not fully
I won't
aware
say. I
of
won't
everybody
say,
that was doing it.
I won't say fully aware. I'm aware that stuff was going on. Because if you're telling me that it was the majority of the kids,
It was the majority.
Then I stand corrected. But me, from my viewpoint, there was people that were doing that. It wasn't most of us. But if it was most of us, I stand corrected.
That's a fact.
Okay.
It was most of them.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, that's what made me want to get into coaching. That's why when y'all would go away at Mount Vernon, I would be like, yo, I'm going on them trips to try and talk to these kids like, yo, look, you can see something other than Mount Vernon, man.
Mm-hmm.
These kids that wasn't going nowhere. So it was important to them when y'all would go on these trips and things of that nature. They were stuck, and they ain't had no way out.
Yeah, I understand that. It was important to me, and I wasn't in those situations. So like I understand that. I know those kids that was in those situations. That's why I said I'm aware that went on. Now, if you saying it was at a higher magnitude, all right,
that shit was a high.
Like I said, like I bow out to you. You definitely knew more than me because, like you said, you were older and you saw different. You saw more than what I could see. Right?
And the things of it, like I always would not just tell you. I would try and show you. And that was one of the reasons, not just because New Road was a rivalry, and I knew you ain't understand that neither. But, you know what I'm saying, you understood the rivalry aspect of it from playing it, but you ain't understand how the adults was taking this shit and all that. So when I bring you around and they telling you that this kid over here is better than you and this, that, and the third, and they making you feel away, that was me telling you, like getting your mind right. Like, yo, see, when you at home and you want to chill, you don't want to work, you don't want to put in this extra work, they trying to build them up to put in this extra work. But then when you going out there and not doing the extra shit that, and that's why I said the working out part. When you out there competing on a high level with these dudes that people are seeing, they got a chance to go somewhere. Of course somebody's going to say, wait a minute, he fits in that program where they could go. He's in that realm. Period. And one thing is, his brother ain't going to let him do and hang with that crowd over there because his brother out here. This is facts, man. This is facts. And it got worse. Progressively worse. Where you have parents coming to do kids' practices and telling coaches, yo, on everything I love, a parent told a coach, yo, you got practice on Saturday? What time? He was like, no, we got a game. What time? Oh, the game is at 2. Oh, he ain't going to be here. Him and his brother not going to be here. Oh, all right, you're going away? Well, we play Sunday too. Oh, he might not be here Sunday neither. Facts in front of the whole team. Oh, y'all going away for the whole weekend? Nah, we having a family fight. This bitch around here talking shit, you know what I'm saying? So they got to beat their brothers, her sons up. I'm going to beat the mother of my sister. My daughter's going to beat their sisters up and this, that, and the third. Coming to game. Trust me, man, it's a lot of shit that you really don't know. That's when I first seen police put 9 and 8-year-old kids in handcuffs, man. So everybody wasn't being pushed like, yo, you could go to the league. The special ones were. And you happen to be one of them. And that is an actual fact. That is an actual fact. You know what I mean? Now, dudes that are looked at in that way, yes, they are being pushed like, yo, you can get out of here before you fall victim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said, like, it's me saying that is not meant to be like as if like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying the intentions were good behind it. Like, I understand why it's that way. For me, I'm just saying it looked like most kids were being pushed that way. And like I said, so you don't fall victim. We come from a 4 square mile town where there's a lot of bad shit going on in that small space. You got people that live across the street from each other. They can't cross the street. They beefing, right? Our middle schools got metal detectors and shit like that. Like that that's not like what you would consider normal. You know what I mean? But that's the environment that we grew up in. So I understand why kids are being pushed. You're pushing them towards something that's better for this, like that you deem as better for them. So I understand all of that.
Like now you talk about underneath you, them kids wasn't pushed like that. It was.
I don't know what they were.
I'm gonna tell you. It was maybe 2 kids, and the prize was Ray Rice.
I don't consider him as under me. He was in my age group.
No. See, you not listening. I said underneath you.
You said the prize was
The prize was Ray.
So to get where he was.
You could get where he going. But then you got people that keep it real. And I just happen to be one of them. Like, yo, he ain't going nowhere, man. This kid is outside every fucking day. If you can't keep that kid out the streets, where is he going? He ain't gonna be playing.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna be playing. What is he playing and he's outside 2 o'clock in the morning? 7th grade.
I mean, before that. I mean,
but I'm using 7th grade. So if you looking at it from when you was playing and kids, because you wasn't outside 2 in the morning.
No, but I know kids that was.
Okay, so you think that people was telling them you could get to the league? Let's be real, man.
I'm just sorry.
Let's be real.
Okay.
This is facts. And a lot of them kids right now, well, they ain't kids now. They talk.
I know kids that was out to 2 in the morning that was and was successful doing it.
Successful doing what?
Playing football.
Up until what age, man?
I'm not putting nobody's business out there.
No, I ain't saying.
I'm just saying.
You ain't gotta say no name. I'm saying up until what age?
People know.
Like what age?
What you mean, Wayne?
Where did they stop playing?
I'm not saying that. Because you gonna know there.
I probably know one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't a whole bunch of them, is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying it was a whole. I'm not saying it was a whole bunch of them 2 o'clock.
It was more 2 o'clocks that didn't play.
Yeah.
Than it was. Come on, man. I know dudes that. Listen, man. My homie was one of them dudes. This is fact.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
We just agree to disagree on that. I think in our community it is pushed more, and I think it's because tying it back into what we were talking about before, we don't as a community explore other resources for becoming financially free. Going back to like stocks, and when we don't have a stock conversation, and I think for us, like we get set on 1 or 2 avenues when there's like many avenues.
But see, you can't even say that because if you come from a broken home, and one parent or you got a parent on drugs, the other person is working for no money, just trying to put any kind of food on the table, they not having no money. Otherwise, you ain't gonna have nothing. Because they could take their money and invest it in stock, but
right.
You know
but no, I'm not saying they right, wrong, or indifferent for that. I'm just speaking of the circumstance.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's less people that were being told they can go to the league, and I'm pretty sure across the country, if you had this conversation, you would see dudes that be nasty that would tell you, yeah, I was told that, but yo, this is what I had to do, so that's why I didn't go. But you look at the rest of the kids, because the majority of the kids was not, they wasn't on that level. That's why you had the starters, and a lot of them going both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And even them starters, a lot of them were in the league. They was just able to hold their own at that age level. So they wasn't told they could go to the pros. Now, what a kid will tell you is something totally different.
And maybe that's maybe
and
that's
if you
why.
think back to it, all you got to think about is when you play any sport, well, baseball, take that, and whoever played basketball. Think about the kid that didn't get picked for them all-star teams and them traveling teams.
Mm-hmm.
He would tell you, yeah, I was picked, you know what I'm saying? Or, yo, he don't like my moms, yo, and this, that, and the third. Or, yo, the reason why I didn't get picked because, you know what I'm saying, him and my pops was going to scrap. They come up with all kind of excuses because they kids. They want to feel a part of something that they know they ain't got a shot in hell. That's just being real. You got the elite, and then you got the rest of the people that got to make up the team. And that's just actual fact.
Maybe my viewpoint goes down to the fact, like I said, like you said, and I agree with you. Just my viewpoint of myself at that time was just like, I didn't see it in myself. I know that for a fact, right? But yeah, that's my viewpoint on it. But yeah, I just think we just need to explore more avenues. And then you tie into the other thing with the working out. I think that helps from a mental capacity. Your ability to withstand.
No, it definitely helps your ego.
I'm not talking about ego, because I'm not talking about, personally.
I disagree that it helps you in school.
Huh? I don't even just, I think it helps you with everything. I think
I said I disagree with the school part.
Yeah. I hear you. I think
you damn sure ain't going to take no test like, damn, what's this answer? Come on, one more step.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're
push through this.
Like my comparison of how you're not connecting with what I'm talking about, like how my comparison that is saying it impacts it. I think it also is similar to the conversation where you say like, yo, somebody who grew up without money is, and I don't even like this either because I don't fully subscribe to this, but people say it's easier to level up in life than it is to level down. Whereas like it's easier to live with money if you come from no money than it is to come from money and live with no money.
That's a fact.
I think it is, but I think there's variables, because I think if you come from no money and you get a lot of money and you don't know what it is, don't know how to manage money, you could potentially be more fucked up than you were before.
You just made the point.
Huh?
It's easier to level up, get that money,
yeah,
than it is to be up there and come down. A motherfucker that came from nothing, like these basketball players, they get to the league, it's easy to level up. Now to level down, they done been here before. So they'll do whatever they gotta do.
Okay, I get
But you look at these motherfuckers that grow up with money.
Alright, so don't switch my thing. So like, right, alright, so like I said, I don't fully subscribe to it, but if I had to put one side of the fence, I am more so on that side of the fence. That analogy, I think, also equates to what I'm saying about working out to school. I think it's easier to apply the discipline and effort into school if you are somebody who does hard things, physical activity, working out, than it is if you don't, and you don't have anything to reference overcoming obstacles and focus and things like that. That's what I would say. So I think if you could subscribe to the one, I don't understand how you can't subscribe to the other.
It's proven that people with money lose a little bit of money, and you've seen it with the Bernie Madoff scheme. You've seen it with other schemes. People that are rich, well, wealthy, lose money to where they become rich. They feel they broke. They kill themselves.
Yeah, I think people who don't put themselves through stressful situations.
You ain't never seen a person that don't work out, that's educated.
I have.
What?
Panic in situations where it becomes stressful.
And they educated
yes.
in school?
Corporate America every day.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. That ain't got nothing to do with working out or not.
But I'm just saying, I'm telling you, people who don't work out that experience a little bit of adversity.
So give me an example where a person in that same situation. I can't speak to that because I've never seen it.
Right, but
you know what I mean? But I know in my type of work, I've seen dudes that work out, they work out warriors.
Mm-hmm.
But when they get in that motherfucking burning building, they panic too.
Yeah.
And they don't want,
that's definitely, I can, 100%, I'm not in that situation, but I can understand what you're saying there. And I believe you. I've seen in my career, in my workplace, folks in the same business areas, right? Same business areas. You got one person that work out, one person that don't. One person that plays video games all day long, don't do anything. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. I'm just drawing a comparison. There's somebody that, and I'm not even saying they're a workout warrior. There's just somebody who does physical activity every day. If you looked at them, you wouldn't be like, yo, this person is like this crazy workout warrior. They're just somebody that does physical activity every day. They go in the gym to do something, right? There's deadlines that are coming for this department. These people have somewhat equal responsibilities. They are both at the same level. The person that does do physical activity is a lot more was a lot more calm under the stress, whereas the person who wasn't was a lot more stressed out. They needed to go outside and they were cussing.
Well, I don't think that got nothing to do with working out.
I do, because I think when
I don't think it got nothing to do with that.
I think both are situations where you put yourself you're under stress. One situation, you are overcoming that stress and you're learning, you're building confidence within yourself. You're learning to overcome that stuff. Because stress is stress.
I never worked in that environment, but I worked in all the jobs I had were manual labor.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the dudes that worked out wasn't shit. But you go in the gym with them and you be like, damn, this motherfucking workout was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand that from your viewpoint, because you can only like, just like me. Like, I have my viewpoint because I'm seeing what I'm seeing. You got your viewpoint because you're seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it from a standpoint. That's just that person's makeup.
But I think you're right.
You got people that could.
I said it wasn't 100%.
And people could. There's a lot of people, and actually somebody told me I was one of them kind of people that under stress excels.
Yeah.
Where some people just can't handle stress.
That is true. You said that earlier.
Some people can't handle that.
You said that earlier. I know some people who are out of shape, don't work out, will tell you like listen, they quote, I'm fat and happy. They're one of the hardest working people I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying those people don't exist. And I know people that are workout warriors, but if you have them do anything else, I wouldn't want that person to walk my dog. You know what I'm saying? So I know there's people that are extremes on both sides. Let me correct myself. There are outliers on both sides. But what I'm saying is, for the most part, in my opinion, for the most part, somebody who does physical activity normally, right? Does physical activity as a form of routine, they're going to be more disciplined, they're going to be more focused, and they're going to be more adapt to deal with stress.
Well, I'm going to say this, what I think, especially a guy that work out all the time, or a woman that work out all the time, their ego get crushed when it's somebody that could do what they can do, or probably better, that don't do all the physical activities that they do.
I've seen that.
And whereas a person that don't work out could care less.
Right, because they're not into that. But I think if you do that, I think that happens in anything. Like if you do anything, if you're somebody who does anything on a regular basis, and somebody who doesn't do it at all comes and does that thing, like a gamer. Like if you play video games all day long, right? Let's say Call of Duty is your thing, and I never played Call of Duty a day in my life, and I come in and I bust you in Call of Duty, you're gonna feel a type of way about that. That goes with anything. That's not just working out.
Yeah, but I think workout, and I'm only speaking from the man's point of view. When men go to the gym, you got the ego lifts, you got all kind of stuff, man.
That's why I talked about squatting.
That, you know what I mean? That it is what it is. But to me, I look at it like this: people that work out, egos, and they look down on people, and that's just how I feel.
There are like I said,
so
there are
at the
people
end
that
of
do
the
that.
day, and them are the people that I look at, and I let them know quick. You can work out all you want, lift all the weights you want. You can't work out your chin. That's period, point blank. And you fuck around.
That's ego too.
Yeah, it is ego, because when
right,
somebody...
so you
No, what I mean is... No, I'm saying, like I said, I'm going to say it again. When people that want to look down on people like, yo, I work out, I do this.
Yeah. That's how, yeah, you're right.
Yo, guess what? Nigga, okay. Guess what? Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
all
like,
that,
like I said, that stuff is wrong. Like, I don't advocate that.
And
that's
a lot of people that do that.
It is.
Like, when I go to the
agree.
gym, the shit be so funny.
It is a lot of people that do that.
A dude worked out with me 2 weeks ago, right? We on the incline. You know what I'm saying? So, I had my man calling me, yo, you over at Planet Fitness and this, that, and the third. You doing that shit in there. So, I went to a gym where it was free weights. So, boom, we get on the incline. That dude was like, yo, can I jump in with you? Fine. We go all buffed up and shit, you know what I mean? Like, so he gets under, you know, mind if I put a 45 on each side. So I was like, alright. So he lifting the shit. Yo, would you want on? Nah, you can leave that on there. You know what the nigga said? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna come back. Yo, let me know when you're done. Cause you judging the nigga. But I'm just as strong as you, playboy. We can do what the fuck you want to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's ego, though.
No, he had the ego.
You do too.
No, I had the ego because he turned to me like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I definitely know that.
So and definitely had an ego when you talk about, can I jump in first? Then when you see I can lift the shit just as many as you, and then do you know when you done?
That's whack. That's corny. But what I'm saying is, like, I think that happens in everything. But I think
I see that a lot with
I do
that
too.
work out. Like,
I do too. I'm agreeing with
right you. There, man. If you
I'm agreeing with you. And I hate that.
And
I hate that. And I think that's why people like when I like. I'll say for me, like when I talk to people about working out, that's why I talk to you the way I do about working out, and I say. Like, you almost gotta, like, come out the gate and with, like, an intro, like, yo, I ain't trying to tell you how to do nothing, or, like, yo, like, working out for real, if you want to take it to this, like, granular sense, if you go outside for a walk every day, that's a workout. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why when I talk about working out, I'm telling you, like, I know those people exist. I hate those people, because what you do is you turn people away from physical fitness when you do stuff like that. Like, if I can bench 135 and you can't bench 135, but you doing what you can do, like, that's fine. I'm no better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't look at it like that. Where you do got people that ego lift and ego workout.
That should be hilarious.
Yeah, nah, that's whack. That's corny. That's just like the people who, like, if you're doing well in life, you wanna cop this or cop that just to stun on people. That's whack to me. You know, that's why I said it happens in all things. But, like, I'm just saying from a fitness standpoint, I think when people are into fitness, because even those guys, too, I think a lot of those people that ego lift, they're not really people that are, like, in shape like that
I
either.
just think it's a person's mind makeup as to how they deal with life, period. I don't think working out prepares you for what life going to throw at you.
I disagree.
And I don't think, well, we could agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think working out prepares you for what life going to throw at you, because at the end of the day, life throw curveballs that you don't know how you're going to handle it until you're going through it, whether you work out or not. And just because you work out don't mean you're going to be more susceptible to be successful at that when that curveball gets thrown, because you work out every day and you strong-minded as far as working out. If you're a strong-minded person, you're just a strong-minded person to me, period. Whether you work out, whether you go out here and go to Dairy Queen and eat as many of them fucking Frosties or whatever they sell in there all day, or you the person that eats salad all day, who you are is who you are, and it can't be masked by working out.
You don't think you can improve who you are, or you think who you are is just who you are, you can't change that in any way?
As far as what?
Like, you can't become better. So your mental makeup. Like, say if you're a weak-minded person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't eventually become strong-minded?
You can become strong-minded, but something is going to reveal that weak mind that you had at some point.
Maybe, But like, so it's like, cause the reason I'm asking you this is because it's just like, okay, if that's the case, then your body wouldn't change from working out either. Because like your thought process and your brain is a muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can always work that out. So if you think one way or if you have one viewpoint, you can change that through exercise, right? Like, and part of your brain exercise is when you're put through situations, how you work that out, how you feel about encountering those situations. So like, I feel like when you're somebody who works out and you constantly under stress, like, 'cause working out does increase your stress levels. When you encounter stress, I feel like your brain deals with it better because it has done it before. Curveball or not, stress is stress, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, like, your brain is more prepared to deal with stress if you put it under stress more often, right? That's just like how, like, boxers get, their hands are harder. Like, they're able to take punches to the face. Like, the average person can't go out and take a punch to the face, right? But your trained boxer can take a punch to the face, most of them. You know what I'm saying? Like
we can try and debate this. I
know you're not gonna agree with me.
Because I feel like who you are is who you are.
So that's what I'm asking you. You don't think you can change that?
I don't. I think you could mask who you are, but I don't think you could totally change who you are.
Okay, so you're saying if you were born weak-minded, right? If whatever, not born weak-minded. So through experience, you come up and you just, like, let's say you're a, just say like weak-minded. You don't deal with hardship well, right? Things that are difficult. You don't think you ever can get better at that?
No, I think that you could try and cover it up by if you a person that I don't know how to explain it, but if you a person that don't like where you came from, right?
Mm-hmm.
You despise how you grew up and shit like that,
mm-hmm.
right? You could work to try and make it where your kids don't ever know that struggle and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you are who you are.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
You're not going to be able to change that. You can mask it, you know what I mean? But you
always.
always
listen what I'm asking.
So ask it again.
So, like, if I'm somebody, like, for example, right? Because when you go, like, let's say school, because we talked about school, like you saying it don't improve you're in school, right? So when you go into a class, let's say the first time, like, you learn math, you don't know math. Over the course of repetition of learning the subject of addition, right? So that's the same thing you do as far as, like, dealing with stress.
No, that's not true.
I think so.
Because you learning something that the answer is right there. Stress, there is no answer for it. There is no answer for if you in a stressful situation. There might be an answer for that situation, but if you in a situation where you know you gonna react at some point, you're gonna revert back to who you are dealing with stress or dealing with any kind of situation because you're trying to be something that you're not.
Yeah, but I think you can change your mental capacity to deal with things.
Yeah, because you're trying to be someone that you're not.
Not even that.
You're always gonna be.
You saying the essence of who you are. That's true.
No, I'm saying you could when you saying change your mental capacity. You. I don't understand what you mean by changing. You changing to be what? To do what?
I'm saying you're able to deal with stress better. Like I don't think your ability to handle stress is just what it is for the rest of your life.
No, yes. If you a person that really can't handle stress, you're gonna put yourself in situations where you really don't have to deal with it, so you're masking it. But if you're
true, you can't always put yourself in situations that you don't have to deal with.
You could try to.
You can try, but that doesn't mean you will be 100%.
And a lot of times people don't deal with it.
But if that's the case, if you could never change, right? If you could never like improve yourself, right?
No, you can improve yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
You can improve yourself to a certain degree, but at some point, something's going to bring out exactly who you are. You can never run away from who you are.
I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying is I think you can change your mental makeup.
No, you could what you're doing is you're trying to preach to yourself every day that I can't react to this situation the way I would.
Right. So that actually brings up something that I was actually going to talk about today. How much power do you think your brain has?
How much power?
Yeah. Because what you're saying right now, you don't really believe you got that much power mentally.
No, you do. You do. But I'm going to tell you what. If you true to yourself, there's certain things that you can't even make yourself think that I'm going to react to this the way you might want to.
I think we underestimate I think you're taking it somewhere that I'm not taking it. I'm saying I think you're underestimating the power of your own brain. Like,
no,
I'm
telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I'm trying to explain something to you.
I think everything that we think currently, we've convinced ourselves to think that way. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Okay, and I agree to a certain extent. You could say to yourself, like, what I'm gonna tell you ain't even for. But I'm gonna tell you something. But it ain't for this. Because you could tell yourself a whole bunch of shit, but at some point you gonna, like I said, you could sit here and like try and sugarcoat stuff and be like, yo, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. That's true. But it's situations that you deal with that you be like, yo, you know what? I'm taking the high road, but then at some point that high road is going to show you like, yo, guess what? That was the wrong road that you had to take, and you should have reacted the way that you originally wanted to. But because you trying to teach yourself that might be the wrong thing to do, you know what I'm saying? You not yourself.
I hear you. I'm saying, what I'm saying to you is you're not wrong in that either. But you think that way because you convince yourself to think that way.
No.
All right.
And I'm talking as far as speaking to people about the situation that I'm talking about. Like, yo, guess what? And I mean professionals. That was like, yo, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. People that won't look at it the way you looking at it, they running from that. Because that's just actual fact. And when she told me that, I was like this. Nah, because I'll be nervous. Because I really, she was like, no, what you're really telling yourself is you don't want to do it because you want to run from that. At some point, you have to attack. You're going to have to attack. And that's why I say, a lot of people say they dealt with stuff, but they ain't dealt with nothing.
Yeah. I hear you. I mean,
you talk to professionals and you really let it be known, you know what I'm saying, as to how you trying to think and this, that, and the third. Like, I watch people all the time. People really don't be themselves because sometimes it's not popular to be who you are. Because you might lose a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
might,
yeah. But guess what? I believe that those people are the most scariest people in the world. Because when they not themselves.
Oh, okay.
When those are the people that's the scariest people in the world, because when reality hit them and they can't run, they're gonna revert back to who they really are. And them be the people that snap.
Yeah.
Because they've been all the stuff you talking about. Yo, I'm telling myself and I'm trying to train my mind. Your mind has been trained and molded from when you were a baby until right now, and you able to obtain more information, but your mind is molded. And that,
I think your mind is being molded the entire time of your life.
I just said you can attain more information.
Right. So
that's helping to mold it a little more. But the majority of the molding is who you are right now. You can't change who you are.
So like that's why I think what you're saying right now, I kind of agree with. You're saying something different than what I'm saying though. I'm not talking about changing the essence of who you are, because who you are is based on the things that you've experienced. Everything up until this point, like I'm about to be, I don't even remember how old I am. I'm 35 years. I'll be 35 this year, right? So when I'm talking about now, like my thoughts on like mental capacity and things like that are like things that I'm getting into now, right? I would have to do this for another 34 and a half years to make up for the 34 and a half on the front end of that. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is you can build up yourself. So like, for instance, like people who be scared of things, right? Let's say like phobias, right? How do people get hypnotized to not be scared of things anymore? Because of the power of the brain. They're being convinced via a hypnotist that they're not afraid of this thing anymore, right? That stuff, like you can trick yourself into doing certain things, right?
That's something you believe in. I don't believe in being hypnotized.
I'm not talking about. I'm giving you an example.
I don't believe in that. So
all right. Okay. Well, that's fine. What I say is I do believe in the power of the brain. I think the power of the brain. We see the power of the brain at work every day. Even when it gets to, like we were talking about religion, that's a belief system. You're selling a belief. You know what I'm saying? And when people believe in that, and you have people on the outside who may not believe in that, some of the stuff that goes on in religion seems crazy to somebody who's not in it. Whereas the people who are in it, that 100% believe in it, it seems crazy to everyone.
We could do religion.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, but I'm talking about the power of the brain, right? Like it's just like it's.
Right, that's a person that's easily manipulated.
I don't think so.
I
think we're all easily manipulated. Everybody's been manipulated to think the way they think.
Not really.
Yes. Through experience.
But that ain't manipulation.
It is. Manipulation is changing. I'll give you the definition of manipulation.
I don't want to know the definition.
But I'm not talking about in a negative.
Because I'm saying it could be positive. How things were, the cards you were dealt, right, that you had to play with, made who you are.
Yeah.
That ain't manipulation. That's actual fact.
All right. I think your experience.
When you talk about manipulation, and manipulation is like hypnotizing somebody, and like you use the word tricking. That's manipulation. I'm fooling you to make you believe something that really ain't.
So in a nutshell,
when you manipulating somebody, you're lying to them.
I don't think that's always a lie. Like you said, for me, right? So using me as an example, right? As a kid, people saw that I could possibly go to the league. Mm-hmm. I didn't believe that. So to y'all that wasn't a lie. To me, it was, right? So if I could, with my brain power, if I believed in that, I could have tricked myself into believing what was true.
That wouldn't have been true.
What I'm saying, that's your opinion of it. But just the root of what you just said.
So you felt like you was being manipulated by.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just using that as an example to see if that can make you understand what I'm talking about as far as brain power. I'm not saying y'all was manipulating me. I'm not saying that. Like I said earlier when I mentioned it, I wasn't talking about it in a negative. Like I'm just saying, like the power of our brain is beyond our capacity to understand.
Correct.
Like, so that's why I think it's for somebody to believe that we can't change anything about ourselves. That's crazy, because we can't even understand the capabilities of the brain.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
Do you see? That's why I say we need to start with religion next week.
And I asked you this week, what you want to start with. You said it last. No, I told you we talk about religion. I'm going to defer to you.
No, but you keep bringing it up. But you talking about the brain. You would know that everything happened from a thought. All of this happened from a thought.
So you telling me the infinite power of the
right,
brain.
but what I'm telling you is also, once you get to a certain point in your life, your brain is already programmed as to who you are. You're not changing who you are. You're just trying to mask something to be something that you always wanted to be, but you couldn't be.
No, I don't.
If you're a career criminal, you're not coming out of jail tomorrow, and you're gonna say to yourself, "Yo, I'm not gonna be a criminal no more," because your mind is already thinking, "What's the next lick that you could get in order that you could get away with?"
But I think non-criminals think about criminal things.
Okay, so you are who you are.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is, you can change your thought process. It's not that you don't think about.
And you use the right word. When you start changing your thought processes, you're being manipulated 9 times out of 10. Because who you are is not somebody that maybe the next person want to really be around or want to know.
Maybe I can't. I'll just say maybe I can't explain it. I definitely can't explain it in a way that you.
Because the power of the mind is definitely infinite.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's infinite. But at the same time, infinite means you can gather more information. You can gather infinite information.
No, I mean
but
infinite just means that it's you don't know where it ends.
Correct.
So
but
you can't put a butt on that.
But
so if you say that, you can't, because you don't know where it ends.
I'm gonna tell
if you say it's infinite, you can't say it's infinite then.
Okay, because guess what? At some point, your body is gonna pass on. Correct. So it's a timeline on your body.
That's not my brain.
Is there a timeline on your body?
On my body.
Okay. So now your brain is infinite, right? But your brain has been with this body, this shell, for about to be 35 years.
Yeah.
But you have an expiration on that. In order for you to fully change yourself, you have a timeline. Ain't nobody living infinitely like the brain. That's why when you die, they do brain studies and things of that nature, and they try and do all these surgeries, and they ask you are you willing to leave certain things behind and stuff like that, and donate and things of that nature. Your shell has a timeline to it from the day that you were born.
Yeah.
But now who you are is who you are. You're only going to mask who you are by whatever it is. Whether it be working out, whether it is getting money and masking that you've been a dirty kid your whole life, so now you got clean clothes. You are who you are. Because at some point, something's going to make you show who you are.
I get what you're saying, but I don't.
Your favorite rapper said it himself. One thing a person can never do. If you pay attention, this is what your brain tells you. You can sit there and look at a person and have a conversation with them, right? Some people have this innate ability to do this. And I swear, I'm lucky to be able to be one of the people. DMX was one of the people, and he said it. The one thing that you have the ability to do that a lot of people don't is see that person for who they are. Because the person they show you is really not the person who they are. It's the person they want you to see.
Yeah.
But their ways and actions, when you're not looking, or when they believe you not to be looking, or they believe they done manipulated you, is really who they are. So I don't give a fuck if it's your man saying some slick shit that he want to take it, make it seem like it was a joke, or I was just playing with you, man, and this, that, and the third. Nah, he ain't playing. That's some real stuff. But you want to change your mind and be like, nah, that's my man, that was a joke. So you still with him. That's real. That's real. And a person that want to keep trying to change their mind and, growth and all of this stuff like this, guess what? You could just look at things for what they are and take them for what they are. And everything don't deserve a reaction.
I can't. I hear what you're saying. I can't subscribe to that because I think if you subscribe to that, you believe that nobody can grow and evolve over their life.
You do grow and evolve over your life.
So you change.
You change from a boy to a teenager to a man.
I think you can change. I think you can change multiple times as a man or a woman based on experience.
The people that change their mindset and things of that nature, to me, ain't real people.
I don't. It depends on what they change.
They're trying to be chameleons, man.
I don't think so. I think it depends on what that person is changing. Cause like you said, it goes on to education. Like you got people who learn things later in life, and that can change them depending on what that thing is that they learned that they may have not known before.
Right. You can talk about educationally. Can you change? Yes.
That's mental.
Yeah, that's mental, but that's totally different. You're not changing who you are.
That can change who you are. Like people who people who change, like they're like, oh, I'm going plant based, right? That does change who you are a little bit because when you're not putting and me, I'm a person who eats animal protein, but the people who I've seen that go plant based, they say you don't have some of the like far ranging emotions that come from eating animal protein because when you're eating dead carcass, you're ingesting the emotions of that animal.
Somebody that is manipulated to believe things of that nature. But I tell you what,
okay.
You put that person in a situation where they gotta act out. Then what's going to?
I'm not saying that they're not acting out. What I'm saying to you is, well, pretty much. I don't even want.
Because I heard Nori say that shit too.
No, I'm not even talking about him. I didn't listen to him say that.
But he laughed and joked. He laughed the shit off.
Nah, but what I will say is, I don't even know when Nori said that.
Nori said he said when he was locked up, he wasn't. He at one point somebody told him stop eating meat, and they gave the same analogy, and then he ended up eating a hamburger and wanted to fight.
Nah, and with the person I was listening to watching this guy is an actual doctor, and he's actually on the opposite end of that. He eats what they call a carnivore diet, which is all animal protein and nothing, and pretty much nothing else. But so like he was describing the opposite end versus his end. So like this is what I was watching. But what I'm saying is, I think if you say that, I think that you're saying people can't evolve. I believe people evolve. And I don't think there's an expiration date on when you can evolve. It's just based on what you're exposed to, in my opinion. So we can just agree to disagree on that. But we got to be at 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
But it was a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? It was long. I mean, he wasn't here last week, so, you know what I mean? But we signing out. 8672 Podcast is Chris.
It's Wise.
And we'll holler at y'all next week.
All right, peace.